what's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday and 2024, I guess. Happy New Year's to y'all. Good to see ya. Affinity to Squirtle. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip cheer for you, Zyre, Mega Magikarp, the Metallica Molly, McIntyre. The hype train is running. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone had a great New Year's and a great holiday season. And today, we're going to play some Magic. I really feel like Roaming Throne is a card we just haven't played enough. So I want to start with some Roaming Throne Vampire action. And then I still really love Timeless. So we'll see. We might play some Timeless later in the stream. But we're going to start off checking in on Standard with some Roaming Throne action. Hey, what's up, Elecrobe? How are you? Jaguar and Dragon Bones. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super review. I think Roaming Throne, I was thinking about it yesterday. It might be on my short list of favorite card from last year. I'm curious, what is your favorite card from last year? It might actually be Roaming Throne. It's just like such a cool twist on a Panharmonicon, and I feel like we just haven't played it nearly as much as we should. Any chance for a cons draft? I don't know. Do people really want a cons draft? Have you been drafting cons? How is it? I'm curious. I feel like cons is one of those formats that was like hyped for its era, but Limited has been really good the last few years and improved. Does it stand up to the test of time? Like, is it still a good format? Is it still considered a good format? Or is it different compared to the more modern sites? Roaring Venture, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. And Mother Frogger, big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. What's your recommendation for someone brand new coming to Arena for time? Oh goodness, for Timeless. What is a good entry deck that's relatively budget? I think it's actually very, very similar to other formats where I would probably play Burn. If I was trying to compete on the cheapest budget possible, you can build a really good Burn deck. Probably Boros. I've also seen some really good Rakdos Burn decks for Bump in the Night. But you get Lightning Bolt, you get a bunch of good Burn. You get like Ragavans, Monastery Swift Spears. You can put it together pretty cheaply as far as competitive decks. By far the biggest issue with Timeless is just the cost. Like, it's so expensive. Because if you're playing other decks, you need like 20 fetch lands. Well, at least like 8 of them, depending on the deck. But you're going to need a bunch of fetches. You're going to need a bunch of shock lands. Your mana base is super expensive. And then so many of the staples are from like Mystical Archive type reprintings. So they're all rares. You gotta have rare wild cards for like your counter spells and so forth. So yeah, the cost is the problem. I would probably start with Burn though. Burn is like very good and very cheap. So I think that's the best intro deck. So, also chat. Well, let's do reminders first. I gotta get your opinion on some news that came out today. But reminders real quick. Replay YouTube. This week fight all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Tomorrow, we have a pretty sweet Against Odds deck. I'm excited for tomorrow's Against Odds. We're doing something really, really cool that I don't think I've seen anyone else do before. I think I broke it. Not from a competitive perspective, but I think I figured out a way to break a certain card that's going to be the highlight of tomorrow's episode. So yes, cool Against Odds coming up tomorrow. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. Hey, Happy New Year, dog. How are you? If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. If you get a free goldfish sticker, just let them know you want one in your order notes, and they'll be happy to hook you up. Otherwise, merch page, token teachers, playmats, giveaways for the stream and the channel and the site. We also have a Patreon. Do we have a Patreon command? Apparently not. But we have a Patreon. Check it out if you're interested. There's some some unique behind the scenes stuff, like me and Krim talking about music, Worms Armageddon, stuff like that. So if you want some interesting non-magic content from the crew, definitely check that out. I did not break Jaya. No, it was not Jaya. Any chance of a collaboration with Jim Davis anytime soon? I'll have to talk to Jim. I know Jim fairly well, just from both being in the magic world for so long. I've never asked him about doing a collab though. That could be a cool collab. Goblin, I gotta get on Goblin Monday. Warda Bob, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. Did Krim make you listen to My Chemical Romance? Oh my god, he tried. Really, though, it was mostly songs from fans. We put out the request for fans to send in songs that they wanted Krim and I to listen to. So it was all songs that y'all sent in. And I think every song is a song I hadn't heard of before, which was cool. That was super sweet. Here's what I wanted to ask you about before we start playing. So this was just announced today. I need your take on this because I've seen some like mixed feedback. So the TLDR is speeding up secret layer shipping. That's the headline. However, what this means, if you actually read the article, yes, they're going to speed up the shipping, but the way they're speeding up the shipping is they are going to make secret layers limited print runs. So they're going to print them ahead of time, and there's whatever number, 20,000, 100,000, whatever number they choose, but there's 100,000 of this secret layer drop. They're all going to be printed ahead of time. Once those are sold, they're gone forever. So I'm very curious. Obviously, the headline's good, right? Like, faster shipping on secret layers is a good thing. But then I was reading people's comments on this, and a lot of people saw this as a bad thing because it's like more FOMO-y, and it's going to put a cap on the number of secret layers that exist. It's not like you can just show up, 29 days into the 30-day sale and get them most likely. Worried about scalpers scraping them all up and like putting them on eBay and normal players not being able to get them. So I'm very curious, or maybe just no one cares about secret layers. That's the other possibility. Maybe just no one cares at this point. Dorado, welcome to the Fishbowl. First time sub. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. The time when they charge you credit card to when they ship the product is slow. That if you get a bad product, you can't dispute the charges because it's been too long. That sounds bad. That sounds bad that you can't actually dispute it. They're supposed to be. I mean, the good news is, yeah, you're right, Aracalypse. Like, they're all, as long as they're reprints, they're all just special versions of cards. No one needs them. So in that case, the supply thing doesn't really matter to me. Like, it matters in the sense that I hope players can get them and it doesn't just all go to scalpers. Like, that's a little bit sad. But other than that, like, they're all reprints. So it's not like we're dependent on this to keep the supply of cards up anyway. Yeah, shipping has been back and forth. I've heard it's gotten better. I haven't bought a secret layer recently, but I have heard that shipping speed has gotten a lot better. Alex Mateo, welcome to the Fishbowl. Where's my modern stream? Will it ever happen? Oh, Alex, I'm sure it will. There's modern coming up Friday on the YouTube. I'll tell you that. But I'm sure we'll do some more modern streaming at some point. I promise at some point we will. I was actually, Alex Mateo, give me a deck. Give me a deck in Modern that you think would be good to play. I was actually looking through recent tournament results today, trying to see if there was something that'd be cool for Modern, and I didn't really come across anything that was unique that really caught my eye. So if you got an idea for a Modern deck that you think would be fun to play, definitely let me know. So what are we starting with? We are playing some Roaming Throne Vampires. So Roaming Throne, maybe my favorite card from last year. It's such a cool card. It's basically like a super Panharmonicon, only works for a chosen creature type. So you've got to mostly play all the same creature type to really power it up, but it doubles any triggered ability. Attack triggers, ETB triggers, you name a trigger, it's going to double it up. And it turns out a lot of things have triggers these days. Our deck is full of vampires, and they all trigger in one way or another. So you get the obvious, like, Panharmonicon synergies, like Corpse Appraiser, gonna draw us 2 cards instead of 1 cards. Blood Tithe Harvester, Voldaren Epicure, gonna make 2 bloods instead of 1, and then we can sack them to Tarian's Journal if we want to. We double up the attack trigger of Preacher of the Schism. We double up Evelyn's card draw trigger. We double up the death trigger of Voldaren Bloodcaster. Like, all this stuff just incidentally works with Roaming Throne. But my favorite part of this deck are these 2 cards right here. These are by far my favorites. So Dominating Vampire, when it ETBs, you threaten a creature that has mana value less than the number of vampires you control. So if we can play a few vampires and play a Roaming Throne and then Dominating Vampire, we can theoretically steal 2 creatures for a single Dominating Vampire, and they get haste, and we smash our opponent with them. We can also use it to give our own team haste. Then we have Voldaren Thrillseeker, which when you double back this up, it usually just kills people. Like, if we Roaming Throne into Thrillseeker and double up its trigger and put all the counters on the Roaming Throne and our next biggest creature, we probably just kill our opponent on the spot. There's Sorin in the sideboard. There is Sorin in the sideboard. Planeswalker Sorin in the sideboard. We have a new donation from Streamlabs, from McGarry, $10 donation. Prediction for how many non-Atraxa or Affian matchups? Oh no, is it that bad? I've been playing so much Timeless. I haven't played much Standard in the last couple of weeks, maybe like a month, because I've been playing so much Timeless. Is Standard? Is it all Atraxas and Rafines? Is that where we're at now? Well, you know what? Let's find out. Let's jump to our first. I mean, if it's really bad and lacking in diversity, we can always just play Timeless. What is your favorite format right now, chap? Thank you so much for the donation, McGarry. Definitely appreciate it. Should play some Thopter Sword in Modern. Ooh. Wait, Veto's not in Standard anymore, is it? Plus, we don't really have life gain synergies. Hey, what's up, Roberto Mods? I love you as well. Favorite reset roaming throne deck? Satyrs with Gruff triplets. Timeless has been my favorite format. What's something in Timeless that you haven't seen yet? I know. I thought about trying to build Roaming Throne in a Roaming Throne in Timeless, and it seems like a challenging format for Roaming Throne. As a person not in the know, is rotation planned to ever come back to Standard? So, Dimetallic Moly, yes, there will be rotation. Oh, we're starting off with Atraxa right away. Looks like Domain. Can we make enough vampires to domain to steal a Atraxa with Dominating Vampire? We just need 7 vampires. Easy. When will the popular decks section for Timeless be populated? So the big issue is just that we haven't really had tournaments. But I've started to see like announcements of like some community run tournaments and so forth. Once we actually have tournament results, then we'll be able to populate the metagame page. Hey, what's up, JRK? Happy New Year! Thank you so much. Up a beanstalk. Oh, we're gonna get Wrath. We're gonna get Wrath. I don't want to get Wrath. I don't know if we can deal enough damage to kill our opponent before the Wrath comes. That's the concern. Do we want to discard? Should we discard Roaming Throne? That feels so bad. I was actually trying to figure out how to make Death and Taxes in Timeless. I feel like I really want to build a land tax deck. I really want to build land tax. I haven't figured out what to do with land tax, though. I started trying to build land tax and ended up with this weird taxes deck, which I don't think actually wants land tax. But I want to build a land tax deck. But I don't want it to just be like... Actually, you know what? Let's keep it. Hopefully we just hit a land. Okay, we hit a land. So wait, where do their wraths come? They have Sunfalls and Farewells. They probably have Leyline Binding. They're unlikely to have a creature to steal. The question is, do we just hasten the Dominating Vampire to hit our opponent for more damage? I almost think that we do. Well, the nice thing about Dominating Vampire is it's also just a 3/3 haster for 3. Yeah, that's where I started off Stone Rain, was like land tax, Field of Ruins, Ghost Quarters, Crucible of Worlds. So to go back to the rotation thing. Yeah, I think we just get in with it. So to go back to the rotation thing, they canceled rotation for last year. So we could get on a schedule where 3 years of sets are in Standard instead of 2 years of sets. Oh, God. Yeah. Opponent takes the Dominating Vampire. Oh boy. Well, hits you down to 10. Just no farewells, no removal, no Atraxas. Just die. It's Cavern on Brushwag, ramping into Atraxa. How do we beat an Atraxa? How do we beat an Atraxa? How do we beat a Sunfall? How do we beat an anything? Oh, so we do have removal that can kill Atraxa. Oh, another one. Oh. 3. Wow, we would have had lethal if they didn't have that Leyline Binding. Oh. If they play Atraxa, what do we play around? What can we play around? I mean, I guess we just hit him to 2. We just don't really have reach. Throne and Hope. The question is, do we hit him with the Dominating Vampire down to 2? I mean, they could have Atraxa or they could have a Wrath. Both are very possible. Play around Sunfall. Blood Tithe can kill Atraxa. Well, let's go to combat. Yeah, we'll wait. Let's hit you. Down to 5. Let's just play Roaming Throne on Vampire. Pass the turn. No Sunfall. No Sunfall. No Sunfall. Atraxa's kind of... Oh, depopulate. Oh, so many Wraths. Oh, so they have the Wrath and the Atraxa? That's not great. Oh, we had our wandering, or our roaming throne. I have this Boros Prison. It's close to death and taxes that I can get. I mean, we got to just run our stuff back out, right? Unfortunately. Yeah, so play the Blood Tithe Harvester, play the land, play the Dominating Vampire, haste it up, hit you. Dominating Vampire is actually like a good card. It does not get the credit it deserves. Topiary Stomper. Oh, we need 2 points of damage. 2. We need 2. Just 2. Volnaren Bloodcaster. I'll play the Bloodcaster. At the beginning of combat on your turn, kill the Topiary Stomper. Wait, is this gonna work? This is gonna give us a bat. This is gonna give us a bat. This is gonna get... Oh! Oh, bat him. Bat him with the blood. Oh my goodness, we did it. Oh my goodness. Taking down the Vestagood Standard through the Wrath with a bat. Wow. I thought we were done. I thought we were done. Flank Vampire would have been good. Yeah, Thrill Seeker just always gets him. We found a way. We found a way through somehow, some way. Let me see this Boros Prison deck. Boros Prison. Yeah, it actually is kind of, it looks kind of like my Taxes deck. That's kind of the direction. So I started trying to build with land tags. I ended up with Thalia's. I was playing Paulos over Anointed Peacekeepers, Esper Sentinels. I do like that this is a format with Chalice. You know what I want? Timeless is Simian Spirit Guide. Simian Spirit Guide would be sweet. I could really use a Simian Spirit Guide or two. Well, our opponent is playing Atraxa Domain. Sorin could be good. Duresses seem decent. Arena doesn't like sideboarding in Duresses. Maybe something like this? What do we cut, though? Probably like Trim a Dominating Vampire. Maybe Trim a Journal. Trim a Bloodcaster. I really want to YOLO a Journal at some point. I just want to... It even says Vampire. It turns them into vampires. I really want to just... flip this on turn 3 and hope for the best. It's probably the worst plan. Has anyone done that? Has anyone just like played Tarian's Journal and immediately flipped it and like discarded 6 cards? Bo Schwartz, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. Thank ya. Maybe we trim the Molten Collapses. Go down to Epicure. No, the Wraths mostly exile. All their stuff mostly exiles. Maybe something like this. Yeah, let's try it like that. Discarding 4 lands makes sense. Do you think WotC expected Ramp to be the #1 home for Cavern? They should have. I mean, I feel like players called it during spoiler season, right? Like, as soon as we saw Cavern, the first thing I thought of was, that's going to make Atraxa uncounterable. I think it probably depends on how much Modern you play. If you play Modern, you're used to, like, Amulet Titan running Cavern just to resolve Primeval Titan. So the idea of playing Cavern just to resolve your one big creature, if you're a Modern player, that's, like, pretty normal. If you don't play Modern, maybe it's a little trickier, but Wizards had to know. They had to. They must have. I can't see a world where they couldn't have seen that coming. Even WotC. I know WotC sometimes misses things. Misses things the community sees, but I can't imagine they actually missed that one. Found it up the beanstalk. Well, speaking of Cavern, we're playing Cavern fairly. The way that Marrow intended. Get in it. Copycat's like the classic example. Copycat is like, how in the world did they miss that? About it. Jetmir's Gardens. I think we actually just sack this blood. Discard a Castle Dracula. Yeah, remember? They actually banned that. Wow, another land. Do you remember that they actually banned that combo? It wasn't in standard proper, but they banned it out of like when they did the events on Arena where you could play like future standard. They ended up straight up banning that combo, and it never saw any play anywhere. Like it never even became a real thing. But I guess in standard 2022 or whatever it was, really, gotta get rid of that Epic here. Our opponent must just have a handful of, oh, jeez, some. Wait, why did we play standard today? Why did we choose this format? Wait, this isn't timeless. Where's my brainstorm? This doesn't look like Vintage Cube. I don't know how we beat this hand in a million. 2 Ras, 3 Planeswalkers. What do we even take? So if we take a Jace, I think they don't have, oh, they do have another blue source too. All right, we take a Jace, I think. I mean, all of this is so bad for us. In theory, we can, no, we can't even hasten the Dominating Vampire. I don't know how we stop this. Yeah, everything's gotta go. We drew so many lands too. Opponent mills some action, draws a card with the Jace. Well, they turn on our Corpse Appraiser. That's something. Cavern on Vampire. And let's leave a black. We could hit a Duress here. That could be relevant. So black, red, blue. How was everyone's New Year's? Did anyone do anything fun? Actually, did you see? This is so wild. Not to get too much into, oh god, into depressing real world stuff, but did you see the, like, I don't know, the crazy dude that that tried to drive into a concert in Rochester, New York? That's like not that far from me, honestly. And the showing up in the national news. Apparently some crazy person, it's upstate New York, seriously, upstate New York people. Apparently some crazy person from Syracuse went to Rochester. They were doing a show for New Year's Eve. Or no, this was yesterday, but anyway, he went from Syracuse to Rochester, rented a car, spent the day driving from gas station to gas station to fill up a ton of like portable gas things, like you'd fill a lawnmower with or whatever, packed the rented car full of them and tried to drive into a crowd of people leaving a concert. But he messed up and hit an Uber instead and ended up, sadly, blowing up the Uber driver and the people riding in the Uber and himself. But it was like, no one knows why he did it so far. But like, that's like, stuff like that's definitely scary. That's like, I could have been at that concert, honestly. It's so, yeah, how do we think this is normal? Like, how can you not like go to a concert and not have to worry about someone driving into you with tanks of gas to try to blow you up? Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I guess it is very American, but you have to have a reservation to see the ball drop? Nah, that's true. Not normal, but typical. That is a good way to put it. About it. Depopulate. Well, do we sack a Corpse Appraiser to make disappear, or do we just let it go? We do get to draw a card. Yeah, I think we let it go. All right, another dominating vampire. How do we stop this Jace? Oh, you have to have a reservation for Times Square, I see. Here in Germany, there are a couple arrests of people planning to attack crowds using cars. What a scary, crazy world we live in. Who just drives a car into a crowd of people? So this is mana value, right? So we can't hasten to kill the Jace. We can play another Corpse Appraiser. To exile a Corpse Appraiser. Imagine this if we had Roaming Throne out. Then we'd really be in business. We'll take a Roaming Throne for the future. And pass the turn. Opponent. Wrath number 40. About it. Here in Germany, oh yeah. Oh. Okay. Opponent runs their Planeswalker into our Make Disappear. And this means we should, it's going to be painful, but we should be able to kill the Jace. But they have the silly Sunfall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sunfall. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How do we do this? Can we? Is there a way we can do this? I'm in a bunch of EDH League. Commander in all cap is $100. Have a I have Bant. Should I build Genera, Bertrand, or Rubinia Soulsinger? Wait, is Bertrand like the new one? The one that like makes food golems? That card's really impressed me. All right, let's just Roaming Throne on Vampire. Play the land, pass the turn. See if we encounter the Sunfall. Oh, Chulane is actually like straight up busted. Seth, if you read this. Up a Beanstalk draws a card. Well, okay. We will counter. Oh, That might have been a punt, actually. I think that was a punt. I think we should have let that go and then just try to steal tokens. That probably would have been better. Durasio. Oh. Okay, Sunfall down. Dominating Vampire. Haste it up. Haste it up. Go to combat. Actually, do we just haste it in? Opponent's got no cards in hand. They have no cards in hand. They can draw one off of... I think we just go for it. We go for it. Dominating Vampire number 2. Haste it up. Oh, we did punt, though. It would have been better to let it resolve and then just steal all the tokens. Kill the Jace. Smash our opponent for 10. Oh, I think we would have won if we let that resolve. How weird is that? I'm pretty sure... Would we have won? So our opponent would have made 5 3/3s, but then we could have stolen 4 of them. But then the dominating vampires would not have haste. So actually, no, maybe that was correct. Maybe it was correct to not let it resolve. It would have not been lethal, and then they would have gotten all the tokens back. Opponent spinning for a Wrath. Do they find it? Please no. Please no. Temporary Lockdown doesn't do it. Invasion of Zendikar doesn't do it. Opponent manually tapping. Looking at our Roaming Throne. Come on, just die. Die to the power of Roaming Throne. Temporary Stopper, okay. Okay. That doesn't blow up our board. Opponent doesn't even have a land to get. Boseiju can't pay the ward. Tap land. Ah, and we draw an Epicure. We draw an Epicure. We needed that 1 point of damage. We needed the 1 point of damage from the Epicure. We were one short. Pangya, Pangya, another Roaming Throne. Well, let's discard the Roaming Throne. Actually, I think this should be lethal now, right? Did we just beat the best deck in Standard? Swing with everything, Epicure, and opponent. I mean, I don't know about our opponent's Boseiju plan, but we got there. We got there with the Vampires against one of the strongest decks in the format. Mr. Olive, what is your favorite card outside of Commander that you've always wanted to try but never got to play? As a creator, you get to play so much. I wonder if there are any at all. That's kind of the challenge, right? I've been doing this. Oh no, did I miss your message, V Van House? I started to read it too. I remember starting to read it. The tough part is I've been doing this for so long now, done so many like against the odds, played so many janky cards. I don't know if there's anything. You know what? There's one. It's a card. This isn't even like that cool of a card or that old of a card. It's Aetmes's All-Seeing. Aetmes's, they printed this in Core Set 2020. The heart of Against the Odds is win the game cards, and lose the game cards are basically win the game cards. But Aetmes's the All-Seeing, it's so impossibly hard to actually pull off with any amount of consistency that I've never won with it. I'm pretty sure if you look at every win the game card in Magic, or your opponent loses a game card in Magic, at least ones that are legal from Modern forward, maybe not some of the legacy ones, but I'm pretty sure I've won with all of them. Aetmes's, I'm pretty confident, is the only win the game card, Modern legal, that I've never won with. So someday, I want to win with Aetmes's. So I think that's it. It's just it takes so much effort. You need to play the 6-drop. Then you need to have 6 different mana values of cards in your hands, and then you have to deal combat damage with it to an opponent. There's so many hoops to jump through that it's just like so tricky to actually make it work. All right, let me see. WV Van House says, if you read this, I hereby bestow the curse of Tron. You'll be plagued by Tron wherever you go, and Tron will be a tier 1 deck. Oh, see, I knew there was a reason I wasn't reading that. There's probably alchemy cards you haven't played with, since your community seems to blind rage when they hear the word. That's true. There's some alchemy cards that I'm sure there's some alchemy cards that I haven't played with. Yeah, I don't know if I could be Sparky with Aetmes's. Alchemy doesn't, I don't know if that really counts. It's so siloed off. It's kind of its own thing. So I guess any paper card we'll go with. Can probably do the Cascade. How would you try to win with, but are you blind raging, Alchemist Refuge? If you're raging with Sight. Just be honest, Seth, Trouble is secretly your favorite deck. I don't like Tron. No, I've not. Well, I guess I have played Tron. We played Blue Tron before. Looney, how are you, Looney? Alchemy cards are actually sweet, and people need to stop complaining. Yeah, we'll put a Castle Dracula to the bottom. I mean, I think the problem is just Wizards' like inability to support everything. Like, so here's the thing with Alchemy. Alchemy cards do have some sweet designs. Like, there are some sweet designs in Alchemy. The problem is just that Wizards kind of like forced it into formats that people didn't want them in. I think that's why there's so many bad feelings about Alchemy. If Wizards didn't put it into Historic, I think that the response would be 100% different. Like, I think adding those cards to Historic is really what made it go bad. And that was just a bad choice by WotC. Like, if they had just made Alchemy as a format and started making Alchemy cards, I think it would be like something people were cool with. But when they were like, hey, we're going to put them all into Historic, which was a lot of people's favorite format, that really made people upset. And I can understand that. Like, in some sense, it's the same feeling as Modern Horizons and Modern, right? Like, there's people who just really don't like Modern Horizons. What in the world? How did they cascade that far? They went so deep to find that 2-drop. All right, they found a bat, which is fine. We have the Tarian's Journal, which is actually pretty good. Tarian's Journal, I think, is a sleeper card. The ability to sack blood tokens to draw cards is actually very powerful. Yeah, so I think that's the stuff. But I agree with you that, like, the hate for Alchemy has probably went too far to some extent. But I also think the hate is, like, in some sense deserved because of just the choices Wizards made around it. But I do think it's, like, people should never feel guilty for playing Alchemy. Like, you should play the kind of Magic you like. And if you enjoy playing with Alchemy, you should play with Alchemy. Well, let's run out the Blood Tithe Harvester. And I think we start sacking Bloods to draw cards. Why does no one play Tarian's Journal? Is Tarian's Journal just not good enough? What do you think of Pure Modern? Would love to see you in Doomwakes tournaments. So I've heard a little bit about it. I haven't actually played it. I think there's never been a... Well, okay, that's not exactly true. I was going to say there's never been a fan-made format that really became a thing. But Commander is a fan-made format that became a thing. Has there ever been like a 60-card format where the community made the format and it really took off? And I can't think of one. I guess you could argue Pioneer because of like the Frontier thing. Yeah, Pauper. I guess that's true. Yeah, maybe Pauper is the counterpoint. Well, we can play. Do we just flip this? So we play Preacher of the Schism. We play Take Numa. And yeah, I mean, let's do it. We don't want to draw cards with the shoulder down anyway, so flip it past the turn. We could really use a removal spell. We really could use a removal spell. Yeah, Pure Modern sounds interesting. Remember, what was the Commander one? Do you remember the, Commander? No, it is Commander. Captain? Was it Captain? Does anyone remember like the super short-lived people got mad about? Oh, what did they even get mad about? I'm totally missed. This was only like 3 or 4 years ago. Now I remember Tiny Leaders, not Gladiator. Gladiator is still a thing. It was, what did people get so upset about? They were like, we're gonna make our own format and take the rules away from the RC. Oh, I think it was Walking Dead. Yes, I think it was when Walking Dead Secret Lair came out. Captain, it was Captain. Yes, when Walking Dead Secret Lair came out, people got so mad that they were gonna make their own Commander that was Commander, except you couldn't play the Walking Dead Secret Lair drop and call it Captain. And the idea lasted like 24 hours, and then everyone forgot about it. How did they kill our board? Why do we have no cards in hand? Well, Darren Bloodcaster, that's not going to do it. I mean, we can cast stuff from the graveyard. The problem is we're dying to Sheoldred. Yeah, I think we're just dead, right? So we can cast a vampire from our graveyard. So we can play Preacher of the Schism. Ba-lump, bump, ba-lump, bump, bump. Play the Bloodcaster. Pass the turn and pray for a miracle. Yeah, the idea, like, we have lots of good ideas in the community for formats, but to make it from a good idea to something that the community actually gets behind is actually very hard to do, even when it kind of works. Like Tiny Leaders got a lot of hype for a while, and people actually played it for a while, but it didn't make it past like 6 months maybe before it started to die down. We saw that with Oathbreaker. Oathbreaker's still around, but it's like never really become mainstream. It's always been like on the fringes. It's actually very hard. Oh, wow. Okay, that's about the best thing we could draw here. Well, that can kill a Sheoldred, which is kind of huge. Well, let's cast a vampire from our graveyard. Okay, things might be taking a turn here. Wow, if we come back from this, that would be very impressive. Blood Tithe Harvester. The Tarian's Journal paying off. And then we can go to combat. Attack the Lily. About it. Opponent. Okay, dead. Do you still play Tiny Leaders? For me, Tiny Leaders was a cool idea. It just got pretty solved. The card pool wasn't big enough for it to stay diverse. Wow, a bunch of gift subs. Opponent lets it go. A bunch of gift subs from Funky Monkey Beats. Handing out gift subs to Rumpus, Doctors, The Frozen Cell in Icy Ruins, and Whatever Maine. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank ya. Carnosaur. Yeah, maybe we should have attacked to get the 1/1. I guess it would still leave behind a chump blocker. Land. Oh, do you have another Carnosaur? Aclazotz. Alright. Well, sure. So we get to kill the Sheoldred. This is going to be close. This is going to be super close. Opponent, would you like to attack? Come on. You got to get in with both. Alright, opponent passes. Well, kill the Sheoldred. Happy 20-foot-24, J Muslim. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see ya. What site does Goldfish use to determine the value of cards? So if you go to a card page, you'll see a couple of prices listed on there. The default one though is just TCG. But if you go to a page, you'll see. All right, let's untap. I'll show you. All right, we draw land. That doesn't do anything. But if you go to a page, you'll see so you got Card Kingdom price, TCG, and then eBay. So those are the main ones that you'll see on every page. The headline number though is just TCG mid. So the big number that you see as you're scrolling through things is that one. But if you go to the card page, you'll see a few different options on there. All right, so what do we have in the graveyard? A Blood Tithe Harvester. All right, let's discard the Shivan Reef, draw a card. Oh! That god does things. That god does things, like make bats. All right. Well, let's get in with the Preacher. Yeah, it works on any discard, doesn't it? Who plays Aclazotz? Actually, Aclazotz has been coming up a little bit in Standard. People are starting to wake up to it being actually pretty good. Wow, opponent's gonna block. Get rid of the Preacher. Well, okay. Kill him. Pass the turn. Oh, we need removals. We need lots of removals. About it. In theory, the Harvester can kill Aclazotz. Oh, seriously? Seriously? Oh, no! Wow, that's like getting top decked twice. Oh, they top decked the Carnosaur and then cascade into the removal spell. What have I enjoyed in Timeless so far? I've enjoyed a bunch of different decks. I mostly enjoyed decks that stop the opponent from playing Magic. I very much enjoyed. Hey, what's up, Doug? How are you? I very much enjoyed anything with Blood Moon. Those have been my favorite decks. I just love playing with Brainstorm too. Like, so really, I've enjoyed almost every Timeless deck that I've played so far. Ooh, is it Phoenix? Yeah, I could see Phoenix being good. You get Brainstorm, you get Lightning Bolt, you get the Delve spells. This isn't Timeless at the moment. We're checking out, we're seeing where Standard is. Standard's still a thing. Standards, I mean, it's the format of 2024, right? WotC pushing Standard. I don't know if you've noticed, there's been some like Standard card prices increasing a little bit. I'm starting to wonder if maybe WotC's like look at the movers and shakers of the past week. Like Virtue of Loyalty up to $30, Atraxa, Gix, Mondrak, that's not really a standard card. That's a commander card. But like Sheoldred up to $88. Absurd. Roaming Throne. But I'm starting to wonder if like paper standard, is actually like becoming a thing again. I feel like even though WotC's attempts at fixing it maybe have not been as successful as they could be, I feel like they're actually doing something. And the announcement of like qualifiers coming up and so forth, I feel like when you add all that together, it actually leads to players being more interested in Standard. So I think it might actually be working. Hey, see you, Doug. Have a good work day. I want to see Boros Prison with Nahiri and Emrakul in Timeless. You know what we need on Arena? We need real Emrakul. My LGS Standard has gone way up. Hey, that's good to hear, Icy Ruins. Yeah, I think Standard might actually be making a recovery. Even though we knew, hey, what's up, Cat Cam fan? Even though we knew KTK was coming to Arena for a while, and my brain understood it conceptually, it's still so weird and foreign to me that you can actually crack fetch lands on MTGA. Yeah, it feels so good though. That's part of what makes Timeless actually so much fun. I do wonder if they added KTK just to be able to put Timeless on there. Because I was looking through like KTK, I was trying to think, can I do a video about Khans of Tarkir? And there's just nothing. There's like the important cards from the set are pretty much already on Arena, and then the fetch lands obviously were banned outside of Timeless. So I feel like without Timeless and the fetch lands being relevant, it would be very hard for KTK to really do much on Arena, because they just already reprinted a lot of the most important cards, and then the not important cards don't really see that much play. The Delve cards were the big ones outside of the lands. Fetch lands and Delve cards. Do you think that fetch lands as cards are a mistake for the game? Oh. Personally, I like fetch lands. Personally, I really like fetch lands. So it's hard for me to consider them. Yeah, well, that's awkward. Are we thrill seeking itself? That's also awkward. I mean, Corpse Appraiser for no value. I guess we can pass. Do we pass? No. All right, we're gonna thrill seeker itself. So it's like the saddest thrill seeker, but we gotta do something. We can't just do nothing. So fetch lands, I like them personally. The problem is shuffling, right? Like that is the only problem with fetch lands. I think that fetch lands have a huge positive impact on the game, especially Eternal formats, where they add just layers of depth and complexity. I think they are, even outside of just the mana fixing, they're such incredibly intricate skill testing cards. So I love the aspect of fetches. That's my favorite part of them. All the like, when do I crack my fetch? How do I play around the stifle? Do I save it so I can brainstorm and shuffle stuff away? There's so much that goes into them. So that's on one hand, really good gameplay. On the other hand, yeah, shuffling is kind of a bummer. But I think that overall the the cost is worth it, I would say. Like, the cost of having more shuffling in the game is worth it because all the gameplay upside that come with fetch lands. At the same time, I don't think I'd want them in standard all the time or whatever. I'm not even sure they should add them to Pioneer. I always default to yes, just because I like them. Let's just take... Yeah, let's get back to Roaming Throne. I always default to yes because I like them. But... in reality... Pioneer might be better off with... Ooh, Evelyn? Do we take... Yeah... Evelyn's sweet. Let's take Evelyn. We haven't got to see Evelyn yet. Which is the best Ween album in your opinion? Quebec or the Mollusk? I mean, the Mollusk is like classic Ween. One of their... My personal favorite album is Chocolate and Cheese, because that's the album that I got first heard. That's how I first heard of Ween, walking into a record store in Denver. And it was playing Buenos Tardes Amigos. And I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, what is this? Why would anyone play this on the radio? Like, what is this music? So I always have a soft spot for Chocolate and Cheese, just because that was my introduction to Ween. I think Quebec's a really underrated album. I think Quebec's actually a lot better than it gets credit for. The Mollusk, though, might be Ween's best overall album. Like, the Mollusk is... If you don't know Ween, that's the album I send you to. If you're like someone that's like, who's Ween? That's the album that you can have anyone listen to and they will be okay with it and they will get it. Some of the other stuff's just too far out there, too edgy or whatever for some people. Favorite card of 2023 to mispronounce? Oh, you probably know better than me. What's my best mispronunciation of the year? I know some of them drove people pretty insane. One I got the most complaints about was Aganjo. Aganjo. People did not like. What did I say? Aganjo? I don't even remember how I mispronounced it now. But whew. Oh man, there's Lost Caverns of Ixalan. There are Alibu. Is it not Alibu? Abulio. Alabulio. In my defense, I don't really know that language. I don't really know Spanish. So yeah. I do my best. What's Evelyn? Abuelo. That actually makes way more sense. I feel like you've taught me this multiple times, chat. Unfortunately, it's attached to a card that no one plays. So I don't get to say it very often. Land and land. Well, all right. Not the most exciting. Well, we will draw. We will draw even more lands. We'll get drained by Sheoldred. Well, I mean, I think it's got to be Roaming Throne time. Roaming Throne. We need a removal spell, though. We need to be able to kill this Sheoldred. Aganjo. Aganjo. That's its name. Abulio and Aganjo. Well, let's get some triggers. Wow. All right, none of those kill Sheoldred, but at least we can kill the bat. I mean, if we can keep enough vampires, we can just steal Sheoldred. All right, your go, Sheoldred, dirty Sheoldred player. In your Grim Captain video, you got so excited about hitting it, and then you shouted, Gim Captain, like the way Homer shouts, Travopoline, and it almost killed me. Yeah, I can see that. I do sometimes leave out letters here and there. Abuelo is grandpa in English? Oh, abuelo is, wait, Spanish? For abuelo in Spanish is what grandpa is in English? Ah. Abuelo. Abulio. I'm gonna, next time I see my grandfather, I'm gonna say that and see if he knows. Oh. Yeah, let's just chump. Chump Shieldred. I feel like this is a trap of some kind. It's such a weird attack. I feel like it's gotta be a trap. Bloodtithe Harvester. How is our opponent run all basics? Look at that mana base. All right, well, we get drained. Cavern of Souls. Well, Dominating Vampire. Dominating Vampire is so sweet. We're gonna steal this Bloodtithe Harvester. We can sack the Bloodtithe Harvester. The best part of listening to your YouTube videos is listening to how you mispronounce card names. Well, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. Is my grandfather Spanish? Oh no. He's not. But he might know the word grandfather in Spanish. I don't know. It seems like a thing a grandfather might know. Like, oh, yes. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, praise the magic gods. All right, we will kill this Shieldred. This Evelyn's going off. Evelyn double triggering is kind of an absurd amount of card advantage. We could wait and try to play it at instant speed, but I think this is fine. We'll put this on Vampire. Oh, that's awkward. This doesn't say up to 1. Sacrifice it. Target creature. Oh, I guess we can target our own creatures? Okay. We'll attack with these. We do want to get rid of the Bloodtithe Harvester. My grandfather, I love my grandfather. He's a great guy. He also is... all my grandparents, really. I'm lucky enough to have most of my grandparents still alive. They have made me, every time I think about the presidential election next year, I just think of them and I'm like, why do we insist? Why do we insist to vote for people who are like in their 80s? Like, I don't, why world? Why? I love my grandparents, but I would not want them to be running. I don't want them to be running a car sometimes, let alone the country. What made my day laughing was how you pronounce Galadriel during Lord of the Rings spoiler season. Lord of the Rings spoiler season was rough too. I think Lost Caverns of Ixalan was the roughest pronunciation set for the year. But Lord of the Rings, people got very upset because they're iconic characters that everyone knows. So that made people, I think that's the set that upset the people the most. I think my pronunciations were most wrong in Lost Caverns of Ixalan, but I think my pronunciations angered people the most with Lord of the Rings. Do your grandparents understand what you do for a living? No, not really. I don't think they have any grasp on. Although my grandmother recently has been introduced to Netflix and she loves it. So she's gotten to that stage of boomerism where she can actually turn on her smart TV and watch Netflix instead of cable. So she's getting there. Give her another 20 years or so and she might understand what Twitch and YouTube are. Now we're playing on the ladder. Aragorn? Aragorn. Aclazotz. Yeah, sometimes I just get lucky, I guess. I was gonna say sometimes the pronunciations just make sense to me, but sometimes I just get lucky, I think. Would you do a deck tech for Timeless? We've been playing a ton of Timeless. We might play some Timeless today. People keep asking about Timeless. I sort of feel like people would rather just play Timeless. All right, chat. Standard or Timeless? What are you feeling? We can switch and play some Timeless. I have a Teamer deck I've been messing around with that I don't think we've played yet. Why don't historic meta decks update on the website anymore? The big issue is just there's no tournaments. Like that's the problem. So if you go to the Goldfish metagame pages, they're populated by tournament. Bloodfell Caves. Our opponent must be paying a budget deck. All right, we'll do some Timelessing. We'll finish this match, maybe do one more standard match, and then we'll do some Timelessing. So if you go to the Goldfish metagame page, you'll see that it's all tournament deck lists. From Magic Online, from paper tournaments. So the issue right now with Timeless and also with Historic is there's just not any tournaments that are big enough to really populate the page. Like you see a couple oddballs with like a handful of players and 1-0 records, but there's just not enough tournaments. So that's the big issue. That's the big issue, is just not enough tournaments to actually make the page work properly. Well, Tarian's Journal. Get in with Epic Jaw. Let's sack the blood to draw a card. Yeah, I have that fear too, Dylan Hunter. I do worry that at some point Timeless might be salved. Although I think there's a good way to maybe salve the salving. Yeah, those are all the budget decks. That's all that's on the page because there's been no tournaments. I think maybe the way to salve the salving is just take and keep adding busted cards. Like, there's a lot of strong cards that are not on Arena. If you look at like Legacy or Vintage, it would be pretty easy for Wizards over the next 10 years to just do like a slow drip of adding like Legacy and Vintage staples. And I think that would keep the format fresh for a long time. Like, if anything becomes too good, you can also still restrict stuff. But I think just, like, imagine, like, things get bad and get salved. So you're like, you know what? Let's drop Oath of Druids into Timeless and see what happens. Let's drop Show and Tell. Let's drop Show and Tell in and see what happens. Like, there's so many possibilities. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for, is that WotC keeps it fresh just by adding cards on the regular. Not new cards. I don't want to see them, Survival of... Oh, could you imagine me able to play, like, Recurring Nightmare Survival of the Fittest? I would have so much fun. So I'm hoping that's what they do. I actually, that's my vision of Alchemy, is actually them just like putting all the commander precons and supplemental cards on there. Oh, Liliana A. And a Preacher of the Schism. Liliana can't tick down though, right? All right, let's just do this. We're gonna run out the Roaming Throne and hope it lives. Roaming Throne on Vampire. Pass the turn. Liliana can't get it this turn, which is big. Ooh, Enduring Ideal would be, that would be another sweet one. Wait, is there a special sheet in Murders at Karlov Mansion? Best answer to Bowmasters. Bowmasters, honestly. You just gotta have the second Bowmasters. You want to be the second person to the Bowmaster battle. So your opponent Bowmasters your face, and then you Bowmaster their Bowmaster. Or like playing a deck that doesn't care. There's not like we see this in pretty much every format where Bowmasters is legal. There's not a super great answer to it, but you can just ignore it, right? Yeah, Special Guest is only 10 slots though, right? So I guess we're getting something, but not nearly as many cards. There's no like Enchanted Tales, right? The closest thing we have is the Special Guest cards. Don't kill the Roaming Throne. Opponent. Oh, all right. All right. Well, there goes the roaming throne. Opponent ticks up.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Well, we'll discard the Thrill Seeker. Well, play a Blood Tithe Harvester. Play a Blood Tithe Harvester. Play the land. Pass the turn. I think this might be a flipping Terrigan's Journal game again. We do have to take our beats here, sadly. Yeah, take the beats. We want these Blood Tithes to live. If the Blood Tithes live, we can kill both creatures and then flip Journal. That would be pretty good. All right, opponent gonna kill the Harvester. Sure. Well, we got the Lily now. We got the... Ooh, Doomsday would be a sweet one in Timeless. Okay, Seth, I have a hanky Quintorius combo list to suggest in Modern. Do you have a link, Alex? Let me take a gander. Oh, Abrades the Terrigan's Journal. And another Deep Cavern Bat. Oh, I really wanted to flip that Terrigan's Journal. Well, okay, so we need to Blood Tithe Harvester the Deep Cavern Bat to get the Molten Collapse to kill the Preacher of the Schism, and then play our own Preacher of the Schism. Ba-lump, bump, ba-lump, bump, bump. Here's my bad Red Moon deck. Wish WotC had bolts, but I'll get there. Oh, I wish I had the wild cards for bolts. Yeah. That is maybe my least favorite aspect of Timeless, is just the cost of the commons actually being rares. WotC. Lightning Bolt being a rare, Counter Spell being a rare. Oh, it's the worst. Opponent's done a good job of drawing all the removal. I will give them that. They are very good at top decking removal, and then more removal. And then even more removal. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we're gonna kill the Geological Appraiser. Opponent. Oh no! Oh boy. Yeah, I think that's probably game then. Well, the good news is the quicker we die, the quicker we can try Timeless. Oh, seriously. You gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. All right, we gotta do one more. We gotta do one more standard, and then we'll play Timeless. Hey, Seth, what do you think of a format that rotates but mixes up sets that are legal together? For example, Innistrad block with Kaladesh block and Khans block, there's so many sets and blocks that it could be interesting combinations. That could be kind of cool to try. Do I enjoy any content on YouTube outside of Magic and Adult Swim? What YouTube content? Actually, probably my favorite YouTuber might be Summoning Salt. Summoning Salt blows my mind. I just want to make Summoning Salt videos. Unfortunately, I make too much content. Summoning Salt makes a video every like 3 months or whatever. It does sound similar to Set Roulette, but Summoning Salt does like documentaries about speedrunning mostly. And I could care less about speedrunning, but my God, will I sit there and watch the history of blindfolded Mike Tyson's Punch-Out speedrunning for 2 hours, because it's so well put together and so well done. That's how I know it's good content. If you can make me watch like an hour-long video about something I don't actually care about, then I assume you probably made a pretty good video. what do you think of a Pathfinder format, which is all cards from 2022 forward, making a new format like every 10 years? I expect that'll happen eventually. Like, so here's how the world works. This is something we haven't actually got to yet. So this was on my list of things to talk about today. So I'll wrap back around to that. Did you notice? So this was 2 days ago on the Blog and Talk, Mark Rosewater's blog. Got a question: if or when Horizon sets for a format that isn't modern, such as Pioneer? Mark's answer was if, but a very real possibility. So, not saying it is happening, and Mark actually posted a follow-up clarifying, like, it's not in the works yet, but Pioneer is a format where this could happen, blah, 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 blah. What do you think of the idea of Horizon sets coming to Pioneer? It kind of scares me, honestly. Personally, I am very frightened by the idea of Horizon sets coming to Pioneer. I think it would kill Pioneer. I think it would straight up kill the format. I think the appeal of Pioneer is that it doesn't have Horizon sets in it. I think that's actually like... oh, anything but YouTube. Wait, I thought it said content on YouTube that wasn't Magic or Adult Swim. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe I misunderstood the instructions of that question. I was thinking it was asking, what other YouTube content do you like that isn't Magic or Adult Swim? Well, let's go dig in, see if we can hit a land. We have Roaming Throne Tron in hand, but we need one more land to start playing that. Seriously. Well, we'll take the... well, I guess we'll just take the Thrill Seeker. I really wanted to land there. Well, you didn't hit you. Down to 18. Yeah, I actually am very afraid that WotC would actually do that. Hopefully, there needs to be a format, right? There needs to be a format where you can play your old standard cards. That's like... in Pioneer is that format, and we need to have a format somewhere where you actually just play with your old standard cards. Well, we hit a land finally. So let's kill the Pugnacious Hammerskull. What does this do? Becomes a 3/4 that when it attacks, it pumps another attacking creature. All right, hit ya for 5. Down to 13. Opponent. So all this to say, here's what I think happens. I don't want to see Horizon sets come to Pioneer, but I also am realistic. And here's what I think happens. I think that 3 years from now, 4 years from now, something like that, we'll get a Horizon set for Pioneer. And this is where it wraps back around to the original question. So we'll get a Horizon set for Pioneer. And then a few years after that, they will just make another format that might be very similar to Pathfinder. Maybe it'll be 2022 forward or whatever, but the process will repeat itself. Modern becomes Legacy, Pioneer becomes Modern, the new format becomes Pioneer, and then after 5 or 6 years, they'll print a Horizon set for that, and then Modern will drop off, won't even really be a thing anymore. Pioneer will be where Legacy is now. This new set, format Pathfinder, becomes where Pioneer is, and or Modern is, and the process will just keep repeating itself. So I actually think that's like WotC's strategy. I think that's how this actually works from their perspective. Ugh, all right, untap. Well, it is definitely Roaming Throne time on Vampire. And pass the turn. Can we get him? Can we get him with the Thrill Seeker? Maybe. You can't kill the Roaming Throne opponent. No. Also, death triggers count as triggers for Roaming Throne. So they do double trigger Volnir and Thrill Seeker. Luca? What? X damage Divine Mirror choose for X's greatest power among creatures you control. Jeez. So you get an 8/8 with reach? Oh, this is the worst. Well, okay, Evelyn. Main phase to see if we can find a land. All right, play the land, pass the turn. That was such a brutal turn. Thankfully, it didn't untap at least, and the Luca's kind of spent now. They like actually wrapped our board with that Luca. We really can't let them flip this. Good thing if you get another one of the vampires, you two immediately get to transform them. Yeah, we can Tarian's Journal, flip it, and transform. Wow, another Hammer Skull. Maybe our opponent's all in on flipping these. What about Fight Rigging and Invasion of Ikoria? Opponent retract the sword. All right. That's kind of scary. Opponent's at 13. We're gonna need two. We might be able to win in 2 turns. Maybe. Well, let's play Roaming Throne. On Vampire. Double trigger Evelyn. Play. Oh, we have so many blood tokens. Play Voldaren Epicure. Double trigger Evelyn. Double trigger the Epicure. Wow, opponent's hand has some bombs. Play Castle Dracula. Tarian's Journal. Saga Blood Token. Pass the turn. Opponent triggers. Carnosaur and Fight Rigging. Oh, oh goodness. Oh, opponent's hand is so bobby. Can we just combo kill them, though? That's the question. So we have Thrill Seeker. It double triggers. Carnosaur. Spins into Paleontologist. Fight Rigging. Spins into. How do you feel about Universes Beyond hitting Standard or Pioneer? I think it's the way of the future. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I do think it's the way of the future. I would be surprised if WotC could resist. Another Dracosaur. All right. Opponent going face. I'll block and take 12. There's gotta be a way we can do this. There's gotta be a way. So we block. We gotta win this turn. We gotta win this turn somehow. So we go to 8. We untap. Is there a way we can win? So Thrill Seeker double triggers. But that's still not lethal. They have so many blockers. Wow. Oh, whoa. Oh my god, that's gonna work. Thrill Seeker. Double triggers. Back it up. Oh my goodness, we got him. Thrill Seeker, double triggers. Yes. Oh, we got so lucky. Throw it at your face. Wow, was that lucky? Oh, we were so close. That was such a good top deck. Wow, that was good. Yeah, see, like something like the Marvel set. How do they resist making it standard legal? Honestly, okay, so chat, now that we've seen the Lord of the Rings set, would you have been upset if it was standard legal? Like, would that have been a bad thing? Because if you asked me 2 years ago about Universes Beyond in standard, I probably would have been a hard no. I probably would have just been like, straight up, no, I don't think we should do that. However, the Lord of the Rings set fit so well, felt so good, was so popular, that I ended up feeling like it was kind of a miss to not have that in standard. Well, obviously, I mean, the problem is the One Ring being busted, right? Or Bowmasters being busted. They would have to obviously have the power level be a little bit tweaked. But like, okay, what about Marvel? Is there going to be an uprising in the community if they did make Marvel standard legal? I almost wish older formats would rotate. Like, that's the biggest problem with all this, right? Like, the One Ring is cool. I enjoyed playing with the One Ring for a while. I still, in Commander, enjoy playing with it because the card draws so many cards. But I wish there was, like, an end date. And that's what I see with Marvel. Like, it's kind of like, you ever watch a TV show and it has, like, some, like, very timely reference or, like, slang in it? What's a good example of this? Remember when everyone was saying "ye" instead of "yes"? Like something like that, or like an internet meme that's popular for like a month and then it kind of becomes old news. I worry that will happen to Magic with some of the Universes Beyond stuff. Like, the novelty of having Marvel in standard is kind of cool, to the point where I think they should probably consider it, because I think it'd be really popular and successful. But do I want Marvel in Pioneer forever? Like 30 years from now? What if everyone hates Marvel in 30 years? What if it turns out that, like, it's, you know, everyone hates it, or it's horrible, or canceled? Like, I don't know. Same with Lord of the Rings. Like, I like that the One Ring is powerful and, like, fun to play with, but do I want the One Ring to be in Modern for the next 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? I don't know. I don't know if I actually want those cards to exist forever in those formats. So I almost wish there was, like, a way we could rotate those cards. I thought about that with, like, Modern Horizons too. Like, what if you had Modern Horizons and it was only legal until the next Modern Horizons came out or something? But then you just have such big cost issues because the cards are so expensive. What do you think about every year banning the top 10 played cards in Modern to keep it fresh but not rotating? I could get behind that, although... A little bit awkward. Let's discard a Thrill Seeker. We really need colored mana. Ooh, or an Evelyn. Modern should rotate. Like, I don't know if I want Modern to rotate, but the more we see Horizon sets, supplemental sets, Universes Beyond sets, things like that, the more... Oh, no. Well, this might be the... maybe we should just mulligan this hand. Our blood token failed us. Modern, yeah. Just banning the 10 most played cards, I think that's probably worse than rotating in some ways. Because then you can't really prepare for it reasonably, right? At least rotation, as painful as rotation can be, at least you know it's coming and you can make choices based around that. It would be harder to do if WotC was like, we're going to ban X number of cards each year. Because what do you go? I mean, maybe if there was like a public list, you could prepare for it, but it would be tough. This hand seems slow. Yeah, I think we got to mulligan it. All right, this is not slow at least. We still can't cast the Make Disappear, but Cavern to the bottom. Well, here we go. Blackleaf Cliffs, Epicure, go. I really like the designs of Modern Horizons card. I just wish they weren't so warping. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a reasonable take. I mean, I like Horizons sets. I like a lot of what Modern Horizons has done. The top end's just too strong. But like, every time people get upset about Modern Horizons or Modern Horizons 2, you also got to remember, like, Soul Herder. Who doesn't love a good Soul Herder? Soul Herder is like such a sweet card that I want to exist and that I've really enjoyed playing with. I would be sad if Soul Herder was not a thing. Yeah, after this match we're gonna switch to Timeless. About it, paleontologist. Do y'all just not like standard anymore? Are we in the no standard age? So I know a lot of people said timeless is their current favorite format. Where does standard rank in your list of formats? Soul Order probably should have been a standard card. But standard is what we're playing right now. I can't believe Shieldred's $88. I wonder if we're seeing the cost. I wonder if we're seeing the cost downside of WotC's change to rotation. Remember, we talked about this before. Like, normally cards traditionally only last in standard for 2 years. Yeah. Normally cards only last in standard for 2 years. That's kind of the norm. But now we're seeing cards last for 3 years, which means like cards like even at this point Atraxa, we're getting what, 9 months since Atraxa was released. But definitely when you look at Shieldred, we're going on almost a year and a half now since it was printed. No one's opening Dominaria United packs. These cards are just gonna like keep going up in price, and now you have almost $80-$90 standard cards as Shieldred just keeps creeping up. So I wonder if some of this has to do with the rotation changes, just like the inability to easily get more of those cards on the market. Maybe they'll do a secret lair drop. Paleontology in the fight rigging. Okay. Sure. We got our opponent down to 10. Grows the Paleontologist. Well, we draw an Epicure. Play the Epicure. Ping ya. Down to 9. Hit you with the Bloodcaster. Down to 7. Opponent. Yeah, Shieldred really needs to be... somehow the price needs to come down. It is ridiculously high. Opponent, Paleontologist, grows it. Are we not getting Carnosaur here? Are they really not? Are they not doing anything busted? Brotherhood End. 3 damage to each creature in Planeswalker. Okay, so we can sack this to kill the Paleontologist. Okay, they exile the Bloodtithe Harvester. Well done, opponent. Honestly, I wish you played more Modern and Legacy. I always have fun when I play Legacy. Modern's been weird. Modern's honestly been a struggle for me. I really like your unboxing videos. Are you planning on doing more in the future or weekly openings? Yes, the plan is to do more in the future. I don't know about weekly. Weekly might be tough, but yes, it is. There will be more of them coming in the near future. We've kind of had like a dry spell for sets coming out, so there haven't been any boxes, and I haven't found any collections to open lately, but there will be more soon. Stuff is on the horizon. Opponent, Restless Ridge. Kind of feel like we need to kill that. Yeah, let's kill it. Get it out of here. All right, let's find some action. We have our opponent to 7. Oh, okay. I mean, we will flip this. Tarian's Journal. Flip it. Okay, Tarian's Journal for the win? Is this a Tarian's Journal win? Come on, no. Oh, they draw the land. Do they have a way to turn on the fight rigging like a Carnosaur? They just cycle. Okay. Okay. Fight rigging going to waste? Oh, no! No. 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 Come on now. Kobold's blue. That is so unfortunate. Como's Blue, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. They cycled into the only card that they could possibly cast to turn on Hammerskull for 3 mana. That was literally the only card they could cycle into that would matter there, and they spun into it. Well, okay. So, Voldaren Bloodcaster, Blood Tithe Harvester. Flip it. Turn on a blood. No reach, no reach. Hit you for 2. Hold. Opponent, all the mana in the world. Come on. This Voldaren Bloodcaster's actually felt pretty good. Another Hammerskull. That doesn't matter. Fight rigging. Yup. Opponent swings. We'll kill the Hulking Raptor. Drop to 5. What's that last card? Come on. Oh my goodness. No. Our opponent wasn't even Jund. They were just playing black cards in their Gruul deck, and it worked out. Yeah, that one was rough. That one was brutal because we were so close. We were so close to closing it out, but that means we get to play Timeless now. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Yeah, so the issue I've had with Modern, and I've been struggling with this because Modern's my all-time favorite format. Like, out of my entire life playing Magic, out of all the formats, Modern's number 1. I've really been struggling with Modern lately, though. Like, really struggling. If you look through Modern, like, the metagame page, if you look at all these 0.1% decks, looks kind of diverse. I don't know how many of these decks, like, if you look at their actual results, a lot of the 0.1% decks have, like, pretty scarce results. So I don't know how you weigh them against everything else, but the issue that I've run into is if you just look at the cards. Look at the cards that show up in the picture even. Bowmasters, Ragavans, Solitudes. It's the same handful of cards, and I just feel like, and I don't know how to solve this. I just feel like it's very hard to compete with the jank cards anymore. That's what's made Modern very tough for me, because that's how I love to play Magic. And I think back to all the like some of the against the odds we've done over the years. If you look back on some of the echoing Seth, if you look back on some of the against the odds, and I think about just like Modern today, I'm like, how did this ever work? How do we ever possibly make these decks actually competitive? And then Modern was just like in a different place. Go back to like look at some of these early against the odds decks. So we're going back to like 2015 era here. And like, just look at some of these deck lists. Illusory Angel, Krovokian Miss, Lord of the Undead, the Swarmyard, like Congregation at Dawn, to put Emrakul on top of the library, to put it into play with Descendants Path and Changelings, Biovisionary, like it just looks so quaint today. So all this to say, I just feel like, and what do you think? Like, how do you compete with the jank cards in current Modern? Because I feel like Modern is, I almost was thinking of doing a video called like the death of tier 3 or something, because I feel like Modern it's still diverse in the sense that there's like quite a few competitive tier 1 and tier 2 decks, but I don't know if we're any longer in the era where like you can bring your like super janky brew that, you know, is built around some against the odds card and actually have much success with it. Modern's been awful ever since Drago Jeskai with 4 Snapcasters, Helix, Cryptic, 1 or 2 Electrolyze became bad. Yeah, I remember that. The Sphinx's Revelation control deck. Modern Jake decks now are just 20 modern, and I've seen that, and I mean, I guess that works. And maybe that's what I gotta do, is just come to grips with having to play the Modern Horizons cards. And maybe that's what Modern Brewing is today. Like, maybe Modern Brewing is actually like, here's the 20, the 20 Modern Horizons cards, and then I put the cool stuff around it. I feel like that's what like some cool like aspiring spike brews are like that, where it's like, I'm doing something cool with Enigma Jewel, but I'm playing Modern, so because I'm playing Modern, I also need to play these Modern Horizons cards just to keep up with the rest of the format. So maybe the problem is me just coming to grips with that and being okay. Like, maybe some against the odds decks have Ragavan, and that's okay because you need Ragavan to be able to make Enigma Jewel work or whatever. So let's do some Timelessing. So one of the cards in Timeless that I'm intrigued by is Natural Order. Natural Order, I mean, this is like a legacy all-star. It is one of the most powerful sorceries ever printed. The question is, how do you actually make Natural Order work? So Natural Order, if you don't know Natural Order, 4 mana, sack a green creature, search your library for a green creature, put it on the battlefield. So tutor any green creature in your deck immediately into play for the cost of 4 mana and sacking a green creature. The traditional way to play Natural Order in Legacy is in Elves. The problem is, Elves is really, really soft to Orcish Bowmasters, and Orcish Bowmasters is probably the most played card in Timeless. I don't have numbers on that, but it is one of the stapliest of staple threats in the format. So I find Elves to be not that great. So this is an attempt to make a Natural Order deck that is not Elves, doesn't get wrecked by Orcish Bowmasters. So the idea is basically, we got the Mana Dork, Stellated Halfling Deathrite Shaman, we have Territorial Kavu, Questing Druid, all green creatures, so we can kind of play like a weird domain deck and just like play stuff and play Okos and attack you a bit and lightning bolt you a bit. But we also just have Natural Order hanging out by surprise. That's why I call it Teamer Surprise. So we can just randomly sacrifice a Mana Dork or a Questing Druid or a Territorial Kavu or a Elk from Oko and end up with a Titan of Industry or an Atraxa or a World Spine Worm that hopefully just gets a free win, essentially. Don't you want to make green tokens to ensure you hit your bombs? Wait, green... Why Unholy? Sometimes you gotta kill things that are bigger than Bolt can deal with. Unholy Heat's just like a good card. I've seen Yawgmoth combo with Natural Order. I could see Yawg being a good shell for it. Why is Deathrite Shaman seen as good? It seems like a crappy graveyard heat Mana Dork. Oh, Deathrite Shaman's so good. Really, I feel like Deathrite, have you ever played with Deathrite? It plays up really well. Deathrite Shaman, I don't know how many of you were around for spoiler season. Deathrite Shaman, when it was previewed, so now they preview like every card. That's kind of how they do it now. Every card ends up being previewed. Back in the day, there was a big dump of cards on the last day of spoiler season, where it was kind of all the stuff no one cared about, like the stuff they didn't even bother to preview, so they just dump it all on the last day of spoiler season. Deathrite Shaman was one of those last day spoiler dumps, where they just tossed it into the list of whatever. Deathrite Shaman, so the power of it is, it's a Mana Dork that also stabilizes your life total against aggro, that also Yeah, I guess this is okay-ish. It stabilizes your life total against aggro. It hates on the graveyard against graveyard decks. It works as a finisher because it burns your opponent out of the game in a pinch, and it doesn't die to things like Bowmasters because it has an extra toughness. And people, I think, underestimate how the consistency of Deathrite Shaman. Like, in a world where everyone's playing fetches, it's actually very consistent. I know we've had this argument a couple times on the Goldfish podcast, but in reality, I think Deathrite is very much a mana dork. The argument like, oh, it's not always gonna have a fetch land or whatever, like, yeah, there will be times when that happens, but we already have 2 fetches in our graveyard. Like, it's not that hard to have fetches in your graveyard in a format with fetches. It does kind of feel a little bit like a 1 mana play. Speak of the Deathrite. Our opponent's playing Bant. Interesting. Well, I mean, let's get in with the Kavu. Loot away a Botanical Sanctum. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay. That's nice. Land and go, and we have this prize set up for next turn. We would like our opponent to tap out before we do it. Found it. Oh, okay. Lotus Field Stifle, close enough. 1 mana, we should be fine. So let's send the deck, get our Triome. So what do we get? That's the question. What do we get? We untap. We go to combat. We hit our opponent with the Kavu. We loot away a breeding pool. Is it a Troxa? Opponent goes to 10. Bloodstained Mire. Oh, hang on. We gotta actually activate our Deathrite. Is it just a Troxa? I guess the Troxa gives us a lot of immediate value. It is best against swords. World Spine Worm, if our opponent has swords, is horrible. If they don't have swords, we win. And then Titan of Industry is usually when we need to stabilize right away. I mean, Worm is really good unless they have exactly swords. Oh, if we got Mana Tide there, it'd be so brutal. It's probably just got to be a Troxa. Plus, a Troxa can find us another natural order, maybe. Ugh, or not. That was actually a pretty bad Atraxa, come to think of it. Well, okay. Sure. I guess. Go? I mean, I don't know how much we complain about having a turn for Atraxa. We can't really complain that much. We still have the One Ring. Okay. Well, that's gonna be an elk. Opponent draws a card. Yeah, I think we might have to elk that real quick. Wait, do you actually have swords? Are you gonna stifle us? I guess we gotta play around Stifle. We did see Stifle already. Oh god, another one. Oko? And elk? LQ One Ring? Who would have thought a format with all these broken cards would actually be good? Does Questing Beast go around One Ring protection? It does. Questing Beast gets around any of that. And we don't even really want to loot here, do we? I guess we can exile the Stifle. Yeah, get rid of the Stifle. All right, opponent. All right, opponent with your elk. Why not put a Questing Beast or two in the deck? Maybe there's an argument for playing Questing Beast. Is it better than Minskin Boo? That would probably be what we'd have to cut is Minskin Boo. I guess the question is how often are you going to play against the One Ring? It's popular, but there's also like a lot of Lurrus decks, a lot of Storm decks. Well, not a lot of Storm decks, but like Necro decks that are not playing the One Ring. So I don't know if it's enough that I feel like I have to play Questing Beast. Yeah, the Kavu's actually doing some work. Oh, they're so going to stifle us. I know it. I know you, opponent. You and your stifles. Well, let's make a food.
It's not poison.
Attack with the Kavu. Loot. Discard Oko. Hit ya. Another Kavu? Deathrite Shaman? Hold. We have a new donation from Lucid. Hey, Seth. This is what I've been playing in Timeless. I love Traverse Shadow in Modern, and now with Callous Sellsword, there's an instant win as a tutor. It's so fun. Ooh. I guess we shouldn't have played the Deathrite Shaman. All right. Yeah, I feel like Shadow should be pretty good in the format. Callous Sellsword's a cool addition. I haven't really seen that. Oh, you know what deck I want to build? I saw someone play... This is interesting. All right, this is our chance to crack our fetch. Brainstorm. There's another lightning bolt. That's actually pretty good. Put back in Holy Heat. Put back in Natural Order. Crack the Bloodstained Mire. Why we can't get stifled. Grab a Mountain. I mean, I think we can just burn them out. We should be able to just burn them out. They can kill our Oko. They do have the death ray. So they go up to 6, but they still die. You know what deck I want to build? I saw someone. Maybe we should just build this deck now. Hey, Cease. Come here, Cease. Come here. Come here. Cease. Come here. Yes, rare. Rare. Come here. Cease, come. Come, Cease, come. Come. Rare. You silly cat. Oh, our clock's running. Cease, come here. Come here. Oh, Cease, come here. It's okay. It's okay, you squirmy cat. Whoa. You almost fell over, you squirmy cat. Here, say hi to everyone. People like to see you, Cease. People like to see you. See? Can you say hi? Can you meow for them? Rare. You can say it. Rare. Yeah. They're killing our Oko, Cease. What do you think about that? Rare? Can you do it? Can you do it, Cease? They killed our Oko. We can't let that stand. Get him, Cease. Get him. Attack. Attack, cat. Attack. Defend our Oko. Oh, careful. You're going to fall, cat. Careful. Okay, there you go. Well, there's your... Yeah, Bear's over this buddy's house. Usually, when I'm streaming, that's why you never see Bear much, is because... When I'm streaming, he usually goes and hangs out with his friends so he can play outside and not be bored. Cats. Yes, I know. Caesar's so weird. Now she's like down at my feet just meowing at me. She doesn't even want anything. She just wants to meow at me. We got 2 bolts, opponent. I think you're just dead. Oh no. Wow, that's enough life gain that they're not just dead. Okay, Uro. Strict Proctor. And a Swords. And our opponent got to... And they got to 7. That is wild. Well, that's Delighted Halfling. Beseiju. How many swords? They've used 2 swords. They gotta be out of swords, right, chat? They gotta be out of swords. They gotta. Delighted Halfling, sack it. World Spine Worm. Can you beat it? Can you beat it, opponent? It's a 15-15 trampler. Please tell me you're just dead. Come on. It took 2 natural orders. I think they wanted the life gain. I don't think they wanted to stifle the trigger. Either that or they drew the... Well, no, that wouldn't make sense. Or they drew the Proctor off their row. Could that be? But if they countered the trigger, they wouldn't get to... Yeah, if they bounce their swords, I'm going to cry. They're 1 point out of double bolt range. Come on. Come on, opponent. Planes. And... Yeah, if they swords, then we mill them out because we're at 40. Do they have settle the wreckage? What is happening? All right, I mean, we're gonna attack you. Oh wait, no one plays Wandering Emperor in this format, right? No one plays Wandering Emperor, do they? They don't. I don't think so. Why am I so scared about attacking with this 15-15? Oh, you're gonna try to block. Oh, that's fine. Sure. No, you're not gonna. You don't block your way through a World Spine Worm. You can sword your way through it or Atwar it or whatever, but you're not gonna block through it. No. Your opponent goes to 9. And. All right, we're gonna pass. We got 2 bolts at the ready. Upkeep, bolt your face. Upkeep, bolt your face. Yes! All right, we got him. We got him. So I saw this deck. Someone was playing. It was a Necro Lalil deck. Lalil? Is that the name of that? What's the red legend that when you exile a card, it gets a counter on it? And it also had Death Shadow. So it was trying to like Necro to lower the life total, but then combo with these creatures who care about your life total being low or cards going into exile. It seemed like a really cool idea. I don't know if it's good, but it was a really cool idea. I kind of want to try to build that. I saw Card Kingdom as a sponsor. Do you have a code or anything? So if you buy cards from Card Kingdom and you use the code MTG Goldfish, it helps like the channel and the site. But I don't believe there's currently any like monetary discount. If you mention the Goldfish, you can get a free sticker, which is pretty neat, a free Goldfish sticker. But yeah, there's not currently anything that's like a % off or anything that I'm aware of. You do get a sweet sticker though. There was one, I don't know if it's still the Saffron sticker. I don't even have one of those. I want one of those stickers. I guess I got to order from Card Kingdom. So the reason to Lightning Bolt on the opponent's upkeep is they add mana up either way. So the theory is if you do it on your opponent's upkeep, then you force them to spend their mana during their turn. So they can't use it on other stuff. So that's kind of the main thinking there. If our opponent didn't have mana up, then doing it during our turn would make sense because that would let us play around counters. They do have a lot of counters. So we probably want Veil of Summer. What a weird... Our opponent's got a weird build. Oh, we got to hurry up too. Well, World Spine Worm got the job done in the end. Just barely. Trim. Maybe trim, run it like that. Yeah, I mean, Card Kingdom has really great customer service, and they deliver in a timely manner. Oh boy! Oh, after all my defensive Deathrite Shaman, this is the exact kind of hand that the Deathrite detractors would point to. I mean, we're gonna keep it, although it is... Oh no, and we draw the Atraxa. It is true that right now it's not that much of a mana dork or anything. Opponent, Thespian Stage, Strict Proctor. Lightning Bolt that we can't cast because Deathrite Shaman is very definitely a mana dork. Opponent also does not fetch. Well, if they play Lotus Field here, we're probably in serious trouble. Brainstorm to find the Lotus Field. The old 1-2 beatdown. Squire. It's a Squire right now. It's a Squire. I mean, it's a pretty explosive hand because of the natural order. If there's some really? Oh yeah, this is all kinds of bad news. Well, there's the fetch. Little bit late. Little bit late. Is it just, do we just scoop? Or are we just dead? Like, we can exile the fetch, play Oko. The problem is they just have infinite mana now. Like, that's the real issue here. The real issue is they got that Lotus Field down with the Strict Proctor. Now our opponent can just cast all kinds of big stuff. One land, one keep. There's rules to this game. Do you think there will ever be a format that has no banned or restricted cards ever? I mean, I could see some good deck building. Do they just stifle their own protection trigger? Classic Strict Proctor. So good. Well, let's get in with this Kavu. Let's loot away one of our four Deathrite Shamans. We literally drew them all into an Into the Triome. Opponent takes a beats to 13. Well, let's exile a land. I think we just got to go back to Elkin the One Ring. Oko. Elkit. Are we stifling the Oko trigger? All right, opponent, let's go. Play the Trio, pass the turn. Have you played any primetime decks yet? It's been my favorite natural order decks. I played a bunch of primetime decks in other formats. I haven't played any primetime in Timeless though. What's your primetime deck look like? Samwise combo. Oh, booted. How is Timeless been for you, Naz? Takes our death rate. Attacks. Sure. Territory combo is actually kind of good in this format. Another Strict Proctor. Well, I think we need to... Do we brainstorm? So if we brainstorm... Let's attack with the Kavu first. Go to combat. Get in with the Kavu. Loot away the Atraxa. Opponent drops to 8. Well, make a food.
I think a little merriment is in order.
Oh, we're so close. Let's brainstorm. There is a world where we win here, right? If we hit another brainstorm, which we don't. Well, we hit all of our lands. That's something. I'll put back the lands. Steam Vents tapped. Deathrite Shaman. Actually, let's do it this way. Deathrite Shaman. Go. Yeah, because we can get 2 from the Deathrite. So we're actually, like, kind of close to just burning our opponent out here? Opponent brainstorms. Samwise combo, eh? Ooh. Yeah, that seems sweet. How has it worked in Timeless? I haven't tried it in Timeless. I've tried it in Historic. And Modern. We played it in Modern a bit. All right, opponent goes to 7. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Don't have a full list, but Bug only for Oko with Sideboard Kicker, 4 Grizzer, 4 Spirit, 4 Elvish Reclaimer. That sounds sweet. Hey, what's up, Yursei? How are you? Good to see you, good to see you. Have you given? Opponent goes attacking. Yeah, all right, Oko down. Sure. Oh, I haven't played Breachstorm yet. Hey, Seth, longtime YouTube fan that finally got a stream. Thoughts on this Tibalt's Trickery for Toon 3 Ugin? Ooh, welcome to the stream, the Brim. Let me take a look. All right, opponent, Uro again. Get stifled. Well, I guess we gotta kill him. Well, exile an Archmage's Charm. Oh, they could have a counter. How do we play around a counter? Once the Uro attacks, it gets so much worse. Is there a way to play around the counter? Okay, let's... 1, exile. All right, let's do this. Let's use Deathrite. Exile a Brainstorm. This at least taps our opponent down if they want to fizzle it. And then they wouldn't have double blue. If they let it go, then we can natural order. All right, so opponent goes to 3. Now we will exile the land. Add green. Play the land. Natural order. Sack a Deathrite. Get a World Spine Worm. Pass the turn. Bull you. There's not a land in the graveyard. Whoo! Okay. We got him. Oh, we found the line. Seth, you were asking about a deck you play in Modern. I offer this pile. Ooh, let me see. Let's see this Tibalt's Apostle deck. Oh, I mean, so the problem. It is pretty funny. The problem with going with Shadowboard Apostle, it's kind of funny, is they're kind of expensive for being a random common. They're like $1 or $2 a piece, depending on where you get them. Almost $3 a piece. Tibalt's Trickery is really busted. It's just very high risk, high reward. But it's if you want to play like a Shadowborn Apostle meme deck, it can get the job done. Like it is definitely possible. Wait, what am I missing though? Wait, no. Hang on, I'm confused. How does this even work though? What if don't you just Tybalt's Trickery into a Shadowborn Apostle? I already broke that resolution, Mega Magikarp. It lasted a stream, not even a stream. Oh, it's gotta hit a card with a different name. Okay, so it does work properly. It does work properly, but where do you actually play it? So in Timeless, it's restricted. What format is this for? Oh, Pioneer. You can play it in Pioneer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty funny. So the problem is actually just like with any trickery deck like this, is just consistency. You gotta have the trickery in hand. So you end up mulliganing until you find Shadowborn plus trickery. And then if your opponent has like a Thoughtseize or something, it just all falls apart. If that doesn't happen though, you just get a free win. So I think it's a funny option. It's actually pretty sneaky to take advantage of the fact that it has to be a card with a different name by playing all the Shadowborn Apostles. So I think that's a funny little gimmick. I do like that. Let's see this Quintorius combo for Modern A. Ooh. I mean, we had some success with a Quintorius combo in other formats. It is a powerful combo. It looks relatively similar. Release to the Winds is sweet. Well, Alex, I'm sure we'll do some more moderning at some point. Yeah, I imagine the list is just a little outdated. You're gonna have to drop the Fury. Yeah, I haven't tried Underworld Breach yet. You gotta try this sometime. Ooh, let me see here, say. Beseech Storm. Ooh. I've actually been working on a Necro. On a Necro Storm deck. Actually looks kind of similar to this. So we will see something somewhat similar to this in the future. Cause I think Necro is like super underrated in this format. People has just forgotten, I think, how busted Necro is. There's such a long list of busted cards that some of them get lost in the shuffle, and I think Necro is one of those. Did you draft LCI? If so, do you have a favorite deck? Oh, I did not draft LCI much. I think we did one stream we were drafting it. I don't find that much time for drafting, unfortunately, which is sad because I really like drafting, but yeah, maybe people just don't realize how busted Necro actually is. I guess it is like a super old card, and unlike some of the other banned cards, like if you look at the other freed cards, some of them are pretty modern, pretty recent, so people know them. Necro's a card that hasn't really been legal anywhere outside of Commander in literally forever. We're talking like, we're talking decades. So it makes sense that a lot of people just wouldn't understand how powerful it was. Plus, like, it was kind of a sleeper even when it was first printed, right? Like, even when it first came out, it was still, it was actually underrated. 1 star. Infamously a 1-star review. Can we draw fetch? No. Ah, Deathray. After talking up Deathray, smacking down all the arguments about it not being good, not doing its thing. My death rates have been doing absolutely nothing. No fetches, no fetches. Maybe y'all are right. Maybe y'all are right, and death rate's not actually good. Yeah, is there anything you think needs to be restricted? I could see Dark Ritual being restricted. Luris, gotta restrict Luris. Actually, I think Bowmasters eventually. Bowmasters is just such a ridiculously huge percentage of the meta. Are there any cards you would like to see banned or unbanned in Commander? So I'm fully in the ban Soul Ring camp. Never gonna happen. I know it's never gonna happen. Oh, now we draw the fetch. Now we draw the fetch. So I do fully realize that it's never gonna happen, but I still will say I believe that it should be banned. I still think that Commander would be better without Soul Ring. On a more realistic level, Dockside maybe. I think Dockside is a messed up card. Court of Calling X2. What is our opponent up to? 5-color. What? What? Okay. Wait. 5-color Court of Calling for Sylvan Ranger to put a land in their hand? I don't know what our opponent's up to over there, but you know what? They're doing it on hard mode. I think we're gonna go on easy mode. We are going to elk this food, and then we're going to natural order this elk, which is now green, and we're going to get a Troxa. Draw a few magic cards, maybe. Let's say, what do we get? Wow. All right, that's 5 lands and 5 creatures. Well, we'll take Ottawa, and I guess a Deathray Shaman. Oh, the worst. The worst Atroxa. I mean, we still have an Atroxa, but go ahead. Yeah, Sylvan Ranger, I have not seen this card in... I forgot this card existed, honestly. All right, so opponent did have the swords again. Swords number 2. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Well, we just need to find another natural order. We're plowing through the swords. We're plowing through the swords. Little by little, opponents. Our Oko. Well, let's start with the Brainstorm. Put back, put back. Play the Kavu. Play the Deathray. Play the Windswept. Make a food.
Welcome to the feast.
And pass the turn. Wait, what did I mispronounce now? Natural order in modern. I don't know. Time Deck's already really good. Time Deck's already really good in modern, and I feel like natural order just so easily. Huh? What is? I mean, I can respect this, but what is happening? My mind is blowing as we speak. Opponent blows up a land, makes a treasure. Well, let's crack this. Get a Triome. Kill the elk.
It's a gang you're interested in.
Is this like a Panharmonicon deck? Ragavan, sure. Why is there planes? Why is there Court of Calling? Why is anything in this deck? Well, let's make a food. And get in with the Kavu. Discard the land. We just want another natural order. Delighted Halfling. Opponent. Wow, takes it down to 9. Well, right out the Halfling. Pass the turn. Flips the Saga. It's going to be a close one. Yeah, opponent is... I can respect... They have good land taste. I'll give them that. They got the Urza Saga lands. And they're playing cards that I forgot existed, which... that doesn't happen very often, so... I guess hats off to the opponent. Alright, attacks. We will block the Ragavan.
Blind to your folly.
Oko's so hard to kill. All right, there's a Yarion, so we'll kill the acidic slime. Exile a land. Exile instant or sorcery. Hit you to 7. I mean, see, this is going to be a good example of death ray. Like, this is the mana dork that is going to kill our opponent. We could use another black source, but like, our death ray is our main way of actually making our opponent die here. Opponent gets their stuff back. Fable. Sylvan Ranger for some reason. Yeah, I guess it could be to get around Blood Moon. Gets another basic plains. Well, we will brainstorm. Oh, so close. So close, so close. Bottom, bottom. Or top, top. Sure. Oko. They have 1, 2, 3 blockers. Let's Elk the Yarion.
Gaze into my face.
Get in with the Kavu. Exile the acidic slime because it scares me. Opponent blocks. Well, we will pass the turn. The Moaning Throne. Oh, Chad, I was wondering about this today. Are there any good Magic memes? What is our meme skill in the Magic community? I built a 5-color Tiamat Casual Dragons, and Moaning Throne is disgusting in it. Yeah, that sounds... Roaming Throne is like so... It is disgusting. Do we let Oko go? Probably. Sure. You did it. You did it, opponent. You finally got through the Oko. I might actually start calling it Moaning Throne now. That's a good accidental typo. Hit you to 5. Untap. Delighted Halfling. Stop on your upkeep. Actually get in with the Kavu. Exile something from your graveyard. I mean, this should be lethal, right? How much damage did our Death Rites deal here? They don't even have blue mana. They could have swords. Well, we're not going to play around. Oh, this doesn't. Well, I guess it does work. Okay, so bolt your face. And then this is Death Rites. Death Rites dealt like 8 damage this game. Exile the Swamp, drain ya. And this is like textbook of why Death Rite is actually a good card. It's like the textbook example of it's a mana dork that isn't as good as every mana dork because there is some inconsistency, but it's a mana dork that makes you die. It's a mana dork that actually like makes you lose the game because sometimes it just sits out and deals like 8 damage and your opponent can't stop it. And then sometimes it's gaining a life in the inverse situation. Yeah, it's so good. I still think it should be in Modern, though. Like, getting to play with it in Timeless makes me feel like it should be legal in Modern. Would you be interested in seeing 0-mana suspend cards come to Standard Pioneer? I miss the days when, as foretold, could just cast stuff for free without having to do all the Cascade stuff. If they change the Cascade rules, yes. I like the 0-mana suspend cards. I think they're really cool designs. And I also like As Foretold in that playstyle. On the other hand, the Cascade decks I really dislike. They're very repetitive. Like, it's just like, hey, I do the same thing every single time. So I would not like to see that come to Pioneer or Standard. So it would scare me right now with like Discover being a thing. Probably wouldn't want to. I don't even know how to sideboard against this. I don't know what our opponent's doing. It seems like it's just a value pile. You know, let's just run it back. I have no idea what they're doing. So yeah, I could see it in the future, but what would you say are the color, stats, and abilities of Bear in CC? Ooh, so Bear is 0 land, 1 keep. So what would Bear be? Bear is, I mean, he's big. He's got to be more than, I know he's Bear, but he's got to be more than a 2-2. He's got to be like a 5-5 or something. He's kind of got a big butt. Maybe he's like a 4-5, 4-6. Siege Rhino. Maybe Siege Rhino stats. But he's got big stats. I think he's like maybe like Selesnya, maybe like white green. He's very good and loyal and very kind, but then he also likes nature. Maybe like Selesnya. Cease, I don't even know. Cease is like probably Rakdos. She's probably Rakdos. And what do we put to the bottom? Deathrite? Yeah, let's just go with the Delighted Halfling. That's fine. Cease is probably Rakdos. Cease is like a hasty, like, I don't know, 1-1 for 2 Rakdos with some sort of combat damage trigger, I think. Oh, take the Atraxa. Take the Atraxa. Just take the Atraxa. Wow, they must have another Thoughtseize. Not taking the Minsc Boo. I mean, either they have another Thoughtseize or that is a risky plan. Minsc Boo coming down early is almost unbeatable. Thoughtseize? There, okay, that makes sense. Take the Atraxa. Yeah, black and red's very, very cat colors. Could Cascade be changed to mana value as in the actual cost of a card, like Memnite or Ornithopter? That would fight Cascade. I think there's ways they could change the wording of the rules of Cascade. I think there's ways they could change the wording to get around it. What would be the best way? Let's say we wanted not to be able to cascade into the suspend cards. All right, I can respect this. Speaking of Siege Rhinos, what would be the Happy New Year? Happy New Year. What would be the? Well, maybe we just hardcast this Atraxa. What would be the best rules change if we wanted to avoid cascading into the suspend cards, but not mess up anything else? Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes you just hardcast it. Sometimes you just hardcast Atraxa. Okay, that's not card drawing though, opponent, but sure. Orcish Bowmaster. Oh, this was better. Natural Order. Fetch Land. Lightning Bolt. Deathrite Shaman. Okay, that was a much better Atraxa. That was much better. Okay, and we got the Natural Order in hand. Opponent. Our opponent says Yorion under them because they have Yorion as their companion. Cordex 4. Can you Cordex 4 away Atraxa? Suspend cards don't count as mana value. That's probably the easiest solution, I think. Wow, we are destroying literally all of our finishers. Okay. Titan of Industry. Make a 4/4. Gain 5 life. This is not how the deck's supposed to play, I swear. I swear we're not supposed to just be casting these things. That's not the idea. But we've cast 2 out of our 3 finishers so far. Chat, could someone explain the white guy with glasses and a ponytail with earpiece mic meme? Wait, what meme? Do you have a link? All right, let's go to combat. Get in with the Titan of Industry. Opponent takes it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a little ordering. Bring some order. Natural Order. We're getting all of our finishers this game. For World Spine Worm. Deathrite Shaman. One more Deathrite Shaman. Go. The Great Destroyer, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. All right, let's see this meme. Oh, I've never seen this before. Does anyone know this reference? I don't think I've ever seen. Is that a Oh, that's his face. I thought there was something on my monitor right here, but that's I guess like a mole or something. I thought I had a spot on my monitor. Yeah, I don't know. Where is this meme from? What is considered timeless? So timeless is that guy says milady. He probably he does look like he says milady, doesn't he? It's a guy who was being interviewed, asked about some right-wing nonsense. I would say the most iconic meme in MTG is a guy who got banned by WotC for taking selfie. Yeah, Crackgate. People forget how big that was. Good games, Electric Allen. So Timeless is just a format, just like Historic or Standard. So it's just a set of rules for what cards are legal. It's basically like Historic on Arena, except even more stuff is legal. So the Crackgate thing is actually, I think it was actually, I mean, it was a little bit mean, but it was actually kind of funny. It was funny that WotC got so mad about it and actually banned the dude. I don't think, like, from what I remember, Happy New Year, Cyberlights. From what I remember, like, most of the community was pretty chill about it, but WotC, they were not. And it makes sense. Like, it's, I guess it doesn't make their events look good, but the actual people, yeah. And I mean, also, like, yeah, you just treated it so seriously. And I mean, I don't know. I would like to ask WotC got mad about it because it was illegal. Wait, the Crackgate thing? How can that possibly be illegal? I mean, I don't think it was illegal, but I could see why it would be a bad look for WotC's events. I would love to ask some of the people that were actually in the pictures, because I've always been curious how the people who were actually in the pictures, like what their take was on it. Because I think that, I mean, they were the people that, if anything, would be most directly impacted by it, right? So I'd be curious to know just what their thoughts were. Steals, all right, steals a Kavu, gets in. Well, this is looking a little sketch. Goblin Bombardment's a really strong card. Another Bloodghast discarded. Well, at least we're seeing something new. This isn't something I've seen much before. AGK Mark for the 51st month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. I mean, it's a little mean, but maybe the Magic community needs some general belt awareness. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, it definitely wasn't a nice thing to do. But from what I remember at the time, most of the community was kind of like, haha, like, what an idiot, you did this thing. But they weren't like, I don't remember people being like, no. I don't remember people being like super upset about it at the time. And I wonder if WotC banning him was a little bit of like Streisand effect. Like, do you think it would still be such a well-known story if, like, the dude did it. He made his Reddit post, and it just kind of faded away like any Reddit post, and then it was over with. I wonder if like the banning and like all that stuff actually like made it. His post, I mean, this was 2014 or something. So 2014 Reddit, not the same as like 2024 Reddit as far as scale, but it was like the most upvoted post of all time when it first happened. Yeah, it's almost like the Streisand effect, sort of, right? Like where Streisand tried to take down some pictures of her house that like 4 people had seen on some obscure website, and then it became like this huge this huge deal because like she made it a big deal. So I almost, yeah, but I guess it was a pretty big deal already on Reddit. Definitely one of just like the weirdest quirks. What are some other just like weird times in the Magic community? Like, so obviously that's like one of the most, yeah, that looked really good. Seeing Goblin Bombardment go off. Obviously, we'd rather not be dying to it, but I do love me some Goblin Bombardment. So Leyline Bonding can kill Bombardment. Maybe go down the Unholy Heats. Rest in Peace seems really good. Go down to Minsk. Maybe one Kavu. Try it like that. Oh, I would never want to get Limp Bizkit stuck in your head. Ugh. Speaking of eras of things, that era of music, my goodness. Limp Bizkit. Oh, that rock music. Korn. I guess at least it wasn't Creed, right? Is Field of the Dead banned in this format? Field of the Dead is not banned in this format. 100% legal. Huh. This hand's a little expensive. I like the Rest in Peace. I don't like getting hit by Ragavan. But apparently we can't really avoid that. So green, white, black, red, blue. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to play the Rip. All right, Ragavan, do your thing. Can we please draw a removal spell? This monkey is going to kill us. Oh, steals a Brainstorm that we really wanted. Oh, opponent gets a Brainstorm. Stupid monkey. New Metal is nostalgia guilty pleasure, not because I think it's good on its merits, but because I grew up with it. Yeah. I don't really have that much nostalgia for the New Metal scene. I mean, there were some, I know some of it. I remember, like, who did I listen to the most out of the New Metal scene? Maybe like, maybe like Korn? I never really listened to that much Korn. I don't know. I don't have the nostalgia for New Metal. I definitely have, like, some nostalgia for bad music from POD. See, POD, growing up in a good Christian family, I think that was like the new metal band that was like approved because apparently they were like a Christian band or something. Oh, I forgot about POD. Is Slipknot new metal? I definitely think Slipknot was one of the best mosh pits I've ever been. Oh, Creed. Oh, is Creed new metal? Does that even count as new metal? No, System of a Down is not new metal. System of a Down straight up rocks. I listened to System of a Down recently. It's still good. I still think that System of a Down is actually good. I listened through, they have like 2 albums. They have the one that was really popular, and then they had the one before that. I can't remember the album names, but both of those albums I think are really good. Same with like Rage Against the Machine, I think still holds up. When I think of new metal, I think of like Limp Bizkit, Korn, POD, like that kind of like, yeah, metal emo, maybe with some rapping thrown in, like bad rapping. I kind of think that's kind of the genre. To me, like Limp Bizkit, I would say would be like the new metalist of new metalist bands. Creed, I don't know. I've heard, I don't know if this is like a proper term or not, but I've heard people call it like the Creed version, like butt rock. I don't know if that's a term that we still use today, but I view the Creed era, like that rock, is something different than new metal. To me, they're two different genres. System of a Down. I love System of a Down. I was just talking about that. System of a Down, I think, is still actually really good. Come on, Deathrite. Hold down the fort against these stupid monkeys. Yeah. Yeah, this... the rip... Hey, the Deathrites can still block here. We can still block a Ragavan. Get rid of a stupid monkey. Not being able to cast these natural order. Oh, no! Maybe... game one, we saw these blood gas, but maybe we went too deep fighting on the graveyard here. Maybe it wasn't even necessary. Oh, about it. My hat is gonna fall off, is it? Yeah, wow, it's like almost all the way off. You ever watch the show Oz? Like one of the Malachar Rebirth, seriously. You ever watch Oz? Like one of the maybe the original HBO show. There's the one guy in Oz that has his hat that somehow, like, I don't even know how it sits right in the back of his head, but yeah, opponent's deck looks sweet. That was an impressive Adebisi, yes. Adebisi. Somehow, I don't know how his hat stays on his head. But through the whole series, he's got it, like, he just wears it right on the back of his head somehow. Slipknot, I think, is the best mosh pit I've been in. The Warning. I don't think I know The Warning. Have you listened to any Harkin, Seth? Might be up your alley. I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar. I'll have to look him up. What's Harkin? Is Harkin rocky? Metally? I know we're not supposed to keep one-landers in 2024, but this is a good one-lander. One-lander, 2 mana dorks, and the natural order. See, Soundgarden, that era is like grunge, right? Or maybe it's just 90s rock at this point. Actually, it's probably classic rock at this point. That's how you know when you're old. You hear about the band Updog? What's up, dog? I too have watched The Office. We'll take a Stomping Grounds, untap, play the Deathrite. Oh no, it's a classic Mega Magic card. No, is Harkin another joke and I didn't know it? Have I seen Days and Days live? I haven't. Days and Days is on my list of bands that I would really like to see live, but never had the opportunity. I've listened to a lot of them. Yeah, that's how you know you're getting old. When a song that you think Creed is the best Office character? Creed? Really? That is a really good Dark Horse pick. Yeah, the Updog joke I think has been around actually forever. It's kind of like a classic dad joke. But I think The Office is maybe the most. That's an example from TV I remember the most. Yeah, I would have not thought of Creed as being a pick for best Office character, but I guess I can kind of see it. I mean, probably an easy choice, but probably Dwight. I think I probably laughed the most at that show at the relationship between Jim and Dwight. Although, I guess at the same time, like, maybe you got to put a vote in for Michael just because after Michael left, I stopped, like, the show just became unwatchable for me. So apparently Michael was pretty important to the show because once he was gone, I didn't even bother to watch. Ah, boy, so many removals, pals. Gotta bring in the rest in pieces. Have you seen this janky combo in Standard of Amelia, Nikansian Gainlands? I tinkered with it and made this. Ooh. I don't think I've seen this combo. Opponent gets in, hits us. I get the feeling we might be about to be Blood Moon. Opponent with the untapped land. Well, let's Questing Druid. Untap land. I mean, opponent's down to 3 cards. They're probably about to Archmage's Charm, but still, they're down to 3 cards. Gonna Lightning Bolt. Sure, down to 2 cards. I had an idea for a Nikazel Infinite Explorer deck back when I first saw it. It looked a lot different than this, though. So what is the actual combo? So you essentially get to put all your lands into play, right? So you gain a bunch of life. That is a neat idea. Yeah, I guess as far as like the smaller characters, Creed might actually be top tier. He did have some funny moments. Now, put back 2 lands. Actually, let's put back the Triome. There is a world where we end up cycling that. Oko? How are we with an Oko opponent? I know you got counters over there. They've been very much representing counters. Okay, or not. Food. Haken with no R is a prog metal band. I would suggest you listen to their newest album, Fauna, or maybe The Mountain. All right, I'll look them up, Naz. I was at a work event where the actor who played David Wallace was a keynote speaker. It would be hard for me to see him seriously, I think. Just because I don't know, some people I feel like get trapped in my mind in a role as a TV character. I think it's also, oh man, Charlie Day is maybe one of the biggest ones of that for me. Like, it's very hard for me to see him in anything and have him not be Charlie from Always Sunny. If he's not Charlie from Always Sunny, it's just like weird in my brain when I see him in some other role or being like serious, like doing an interview. I'm like, no, like you're supposed to be doing the freaking out pointing meme when you're sorting people's mail. Like, that's not you. I know who you are. Yes, we would like to make Boo. Go for the eyes, Boo. The eyes. Down to 11. The Tentacle Sanctum. Go. I've never actually watched Horrible Bosses. Wait, he was in Godzilla? It's called typecasting. Giancarlo Espiso looks weird as hell when he's not playing a villain. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true, isn't it? I mean, I guess you see that with, like... Am I a fan of Friends? I never liked Friends, never watched Friends. I mean, having Friends is good, but the show Friends... I mean, isn't Star Wars, like, one of the best examples of that? Like, Star Wars was one of the biggest movie series of all time, right? And then, did any of those actors actually... I guess Harrison Ford... But no one else actually did anything, right? Like, everyone just thought of them as Luke Skywalker or, like, whatever their Star Wars character was. And they couldn't actually, like, do anything else because everyone just thought of them as the Star Wars cast. We have a new donation from Lucid, $3 donation. Seth, your final warning to switch chat to the other side of your screen. Wait, press 7 to stop receiving phone calls. Wait, is my chat on the wrong side of the screen? Is it supposed to be... Oh, wait. There we go. All right. Sideboarding level 2. Now you have to sideboard without knowing what's in the sideboard. There we go. Mark Hamill was the Joker? No. Wait. In what era of Wait, when was Mark Hamill the Joker? Oh, is the voice actor. Okay. Yeah, I mean, but then his face wasn't there, right? Like, I think voice acting's a little different. Okay, that makes sense. But in general, right, for being in like such a big movie series, not many of the Star Wars people actually went on to have like huge careers after that. This has got to be a Blood Moon deck. It's got to be. How do we deal with a Blood Moon? I guess technically Leyline Binding. I kind of want another Veil of Summer. Let's go to one Questing Druid. Let's run it like that. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe for some of them it was a choice. Like maybe some of them would rather be producing or writing or something rather than acting. James Earl Jones also played Mufasa in Lion King. Wow, it's actually it's a pretty impressive list of roles. Darth Vader and Mufasa. I mean, I guess in some sense, what more do you really need? Ewan McGregor, wasn't he in the Pig movie? What was it? I remember there being a Pig movie I watched when I was like a kid that got like was very popular for some reason. What's the Pig movie where he really loved his pig? Does anyone else remember this? That was Ewan McGregor, right? It had to be. I'm pretty sure it was Ewan McGregor. Babe, yes, Babe. That'll do, Pig. That's, yeah. Oh, Trainspotting is like, wait, is Ewan McGregor in Trainspotting? Trainspotting is one of my favorite movies. Trainspotting's so good. Trainspotting's really, really good. Well, Delighted Evelyn, go. What's the name of the guy? What's the name of the guy in Babe? The old guy that says that'll do, Pig. No, who's in Babe? Right, the main guy in the that'll do, Pig guy. James Crom. Oh, see, I guess I don't know actors very well then. I thought that was Ewan McGregor. I thought that was okay. That's James Cromwell. Okay, that's a very British name. I need to watch Succession. I haven't watched Succession. Speaking of horrible animal movies, I learned over the holidays when I was like a little kid. Swing for Zero. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. When I was a little kid, I go to my grandma's and she would put in, oh no, what was the name of this movie? Now I got Babe on my mind. Oh, not Babe, Benji. Does anyone know what Benji is? Benji is like, it's like a dog movie. It's so bad. It's like the dog saves a mountain lion or something. And it's like just an hour of him like walking the mountain lion club down the mountain. It's so, oh my God, it's so painful. And I absolutely hated this movie, but I never had the heart to tell my grandmother. I never had the heart to tell her. I felt too bad. So I would always just like put up with it and pretend like I liked it for her sake. Because I thought, man, she must really like this movie. Because every time I go to her house, she's putting in this stupid dog walking up a mountain movie that I just hated. Then I was talking to my grandmother over the holidays, and I was telling her this story and about like, man, you used to always make me watch this Benji movie, and I hated it at the time. She said, wait, no, you hated that movie? I hated that movie. I always put it in because I thought you loved it so much that anytime you'd come to my house, I would put it in for you, even though I never really liked it. So apparently little kid me and my grandmother both thought each other loved Benji, but actually neither one of us wanted to watch it, but we had to watch it every time I went to her house because she thought I liked it and I thought she liked it. So no one would actually talk to each other and be like, can we just watch something else that's not this dog walking up a hill for an hour? It really is, yeah. I mean, Benji's, maybe I would appreciate it today because I'm a dog person. I guess I'm just an animal person since I got C sitting on the floor next to me. Maybe I would appreciate it more today, but I remember as a kid, I thought it was so boring. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I've avoided it the rest of my life. But, oh man, this Blood Moon's an issue. All right, let's get this Blood Moon. Oh God. That and then, what was the other one? Sound of Music. So Sound of Music, I guess, is like a legit good movie. Sound of Music's like a legit good movie, but I watched that way too many times when I was a kid, and I don't even really like musicals. I still don't really like musicals. Just say it. Just say it. Why do you have to sing it to me? Classic. That might be the word I was looking for. I was trying to be kind because I don't enjoy watching The Sound of Music. I was trying to give it the respect or whatever it's due as a classic, but yeah, that's another movie I just, oh my goodness, I had to watch as a kid and I will not watch. Brainstorm. Producers is really funny. Is Producers? I guess Producers is kind of a musical. It's kind of like satirizing musicals. But yeah, the Producers is really good. So we'd like to win with Natural Order. We got to get a forest to play around Blood Moon. All right, let's just put back 2 Natural Orders, I think. Put back 2, draw 1. Sag the Windswept Heath, get a forest. The Producers, if you've never seen The Producers, the idea of The Producers is they're producing a musical, but they realize that they actually make more money. I think it's because of insurance if it fails. So they have to make a musical that fails rather than succeeds. But they also can't tell anyone that that's what they're doing because that would ruin the whole gimmick. And it does, yeah. And it ends up, it's so, yeah, Mel Brooks is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, springtime for Hitler is the like the big climatic song, and it's so, oh my God, it's so bad. Oh, do I do karaoke? If so, what are your go-tos? I don't do karaoke that much. I've sang like in bands and stuff, but I've never really done, not recently I haven't done karaoke. I always feel like I have to because that's like a magic thing. If you ever go to like a Magic Con and you ask around, someone's going to be doing karaoke. It's like a Magic player thing. So if you ever go to if you go to Magic Con Chicago or go to Vegas, if you ask around, you can go and do karaoke with a bunch of Magic people if you want to. Pulls out Boston. I'm not that good of a singer, but I realized a long time ago about singing is you just got to do it. Like, it's like 99% singing and karaoke. Actually, you know what? Actually, 99% of life is just doing the thing confidently. Like, when it comes down to it, that is essentially it. Like, if you do the thing with confidence, people will get behind it. Because you have all these insecurities, and you know when you mess up. But think about people at karaoke. It's a bunch of people that are like, they're out at a bar, having a good time, having some drinks. They're not going to know. They're not, like, sure, obviously, if you trip over yourself on stage and, like, something like that happens, yes, there is a world where people know. But if you just go and do it confidently, it's going to work. Oh, will you stop killing our death rights? Man, we're going to get Blood Moon locked again. Well, how about a delighted halfling? If we never find a window to resolve this natural order, we win, but... Opponent. Unholy. Magic players karaoke after wrestling. All right, no creature. I mean, natural order, we do need to have a creature on the battlefield, and bolt, snap, bolt is not letting that. And they get back a counter spell. Wow, we are getting eaten alive by Snapcaster Mage here. Like, straight up eaten alive. How are they playing Blood Moon in this mana base? Blood Moon, Mystic Sanctuary? Blood Moon, Mystic Sanctuary. Seriously? Who plays Blood Moon and Mystic Sanctuary? Greed. The greed of these arena zoomers. We need to make Magic Boxing. You ever see the, like, chess boxing or whatever it is? Where, like, one round you have to play chess and then the next round you have to box? And it keeps going back and forth like that. I think that would be... I've always wanted to know who would win a Magic tournament like that. Like, if you had to play, like, a round of Magic and then... Richard would. You were right. This would be a Richard mana base. He'll throw Mystic Sanctuary. If there's 3 islands in the deck, he will throw the Mystic Sanctuary in there. Yeah, who would win if you had to do like a game of Magic and then a round of boxing back and forth? Who would you take? LSB, Jim Davis. Okay, Jim could probably, he's a hockey fan, right? Hockey's pretty tough. I'm sure he could probably throw down. Cedric, yeah. Edward Norton. Kibler. Yeah, I always see him like posting stuff about doing these like LARPing things with swords and stuff. So Kibler's probably got some moves. Duking it out. Yeah, Vince would fight dirty, wouldn't he? I think Vince probably fights dirty. Oh, Cassius Marsh. Probably Cassius Marsh. Hard to beat the ex-NFL player or whatever. I assume they have... Yeah, LSV would find a way to talk his way into the victory. How them Bills doing? Actually, like, way better than they were. I think boy, we have run so clunky. I'm pretty sure my understanding of the Bills season is they pretty much have to win. Oh yeah, Leon Trozzi is a good choice. Ali's like pretty buff these days. I bet Ali could do some serious boxing. Maybe we'll have to set that up. Maybe we got to figure out a way to set up. That would be a Magic Con event to sell WotC on. Like, you know how they do like game nights live and stuff? they need to do the like boxing Magic tournament. I would show up to watch that. I would go to the main stage. I would buy my ticket, go to the main stage, and watch the Magic boxing tournament. It would be so good. It would be so good. It would be so good. I know. I would too. Maybe we gotta do it like those YouTube boxing matches. Sell pay-per-views or whatever. Sell pay-per-views. Four-way commander boxing. I don't even know what that would look like. Anyway, everyone, what we learned on our stream today. So roaming vampires, standard, roaming throne suite. Standard's interesting, but it seems like people really like older formats right now, which I guess makes sense. We're getting close to a new standard set, right? We're getting murder spoilers in a couple of weeks. I'm sure you've already answered this, but are you attending MagicCon Chicago? Yes, I'm. That is the plan. So I should be in Chicago. So if you're there, I would love to say hello, maybe get in a game if we get a chance. I think Teamer Surprise, I'm still not sure what to make of Timeless. I love it. It's my favorite way to play Magic right now. But I'm still like trying to figure out what decks are actually good, which of the broken cards are actually good. I feel like Natural Order has potential, and we got to see its potential. Like, we got to see the good games. We also got to see the bad games in that last round, where our opponent just like killed everything we did, and we could never actually get any like velocity or anything going. So that's kind of like that happens sometimes too. That's the downside. But the deck is pretty sweet. You can do some pretty big things. The untapped extension makes everything black on stream. Oh, really? Hopefully that's just you. I haven't heard other people saying that. But if that is happening, let me know and I'll look into it and see if I can get it fixed. But on that note, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. The good news is there's a lot more coming up on the YouTube, on the Twitch. So reminders on the way out the door today. Wait, hang on. Just played against you, had no idea you were playing Natural Order. Oh yeah, your bolt snap bolting was very effective there. Very, very effective. Anyway, reminders, replay YouTube. That's where you find all the old streams, including this one to the future. Good game, by the way. Normal YouTube, check out tomorrow's Against the Odds. It's a pretty sweet one. One more shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. I love y'all. I hope you have an amazing day. Have a great 2024, and I'll be back to see you next week to have some more fun. So until then, be good, everyone. See you, CatCam fan, and everyone else. I love y'all, and I will talk to you soon.